Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joined in the studio, remote from Satellite Link-Up, considering we're back in lockdown here in Manchester, it's Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, let's do inside that.
Welcome one and all. Welcome to the new listeners. And welcome, of course, to you repeat offenders. It's been another week.
It has.
And we here have missed you. We've missed you so much that we've put together a fantastic episode for you today. We can't even fucking fault this topic, really, because it's you know what? We've been meaning to do this for a while, but, you know, it's just one thing after another, innit? And you just get to the point where it's like, it's on the list. Let's have it.
It's all about the timing.
It is indeed. So, unfortunately, mate, it's a bit shit that we can't get down the studio, get fucking normal business as usual this week. But it's been kind of we've had it over the news very last minute. Like Manchester, Greater Manchester, parts of Yorkshire, and bit of the northwest of the UK here is we're having a bit of a spike. And it's a bit concerning considering Boris Johnson just doesn't look like he looks like he's got the world on his shoulders at the minute, doesn't he?
I'm not surprised, you know what I mean? I mean, he's just told everyone he can go on holiday, and now he's told them come back, you got 10 days now instead of
this is it.
But that's a bit political, that as well.
Slightly.
Yeah, because of the European argument on leaving Europe, there was a little bit of barney going on with that, and that's a little bit to do with that.
Well, I know they were turning around and saying, well, look, mate, Spain's actually safer to be in than the parts of the UK at the minute. So, it's one of them, innit? There seems to be something as well, political involved. But yeah, there has. You're right. There's been sort of outbreaks everywhere, and then there was one a few weeks ago with Leicester, was it? That's kind of getting under control now. And then but we're only in not even in September yet, and they're already worrying about another spike.
It's August, man.
August. I don't want to go on about Corona too much this episode, but I just thought throw it out there. This is the situation.
Just say the top ones at the minute is Mexico, India.
Yeah.
As today, it's Mexico and India that are the top.
It's the States, isn't it? It's the States. Australia, Victoria in Australia is having a bit of a bad time at the minute. Obviously, they've been having a bad time of it for the last year solid. Last 2 years, haven't they? One thing or another with forest fires and bad weather and fucking pandemics. I've got to feel my heart goes out, honestly. And you know what?
Yeah, Australia's had it bad this year.
You know what? Big up to all the Aussies, all our Aussie listeners out there. Our heart goes out to you, your families.
From us, Poms here.
Yeah, totally. I mean, same for the States. I mean, the States is in a bad way. Brazil's in a bad way. The world's in a fucking bad way. So, we're all here. We're all from Earth. We're all fucking humans, after all. So,
we all got to look after each other, but it's just at the moment it looks like a disaster of
biblical proportions, and we have a couple of stories coming up on this actually. But before we move on, what have you been up to this week?
Man, I've been looking. Well, when I kept talking about global dimming.
Global dimming.
Yeah.
Is that where you kind of you get the mood just right? You lower the lights, you stick on Netflix and have a bit of a chill.
The opposite to global warming.
So it's global cooling.
Yeah,
if you like.
They call it global dimming. I looked a bit more into it, and the case is that it's still going on, and it has to do with pollution as well. We can't get rid of the pollution straight away.
No,
because it sets an off balance.
Well, that's what I said.
I didn't notice.
I said this months and months ago because what happened when we all went on lockdown and then the water started getting nicer and the air started getting clearer, and I said, what's going to happen when it all kicks back in again? For example, you get a crackhead and take him off crack, he won't be able, a year down the line, he's not going to be able to handle the same amount of crack he was on this time last year.
Fucking
You know what I mean?
instantly,
It'll kill him. Yeah. Same goes. It's the environment, man. It's a living organism. Yeah. You're pumping it full of pollution, right? And then all of a sudden you stop. And then all of a sudden kick it back in again. It's not going to like it. It's going to be effects.
Well, I did notice that it was from the time I'd seen about global dimming that it's sort of like hidden in that corner. Bring global warming up and say like, oh, well, we need to stop this. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do that. Yeah, but they're not telling you about the consideration of the global dimming, what that is actually worse than global warming.
Of course, I reckon
Either
it would
end
be.
is going to be worse.
And that's will be forever known as the crackhead hypothesis from now on.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll be down with that. So what have you found out? I mean, is it just a case of that, like, they've worked out that this could, it's a balance, isn't it? It's got to be kind of in the middle. It's got to be kind of, not not too much of one thing or another. We need to kind of, it's an ecosystem, and we need to keep it at that balance. It's no point fucking like, pushing to get the carbon emissions down when they're too low, and then there's an adverse effect there.
It's like learning the human body, isn't it? It's like a doctor learning about a human body. They only know so much. They can only tell so much from the details and the technology that they've got
as Corona's proven, basically, because I mean, obviously, new things, the human body, and then it's a case of like shit. We didn't know this would affect this in this way, but we do now.
Yeah, smoking was the best thing since sliced bread. Doctors were even asking you to take it, and then they found out and they went, right, stop all that shit.
Hello, Mrs. Johnson, suffering from stress, are we? Here, have 20 Rothmans. Yes. Oh, yes, having a baby, are we? Here, I prescribe Silk Cut because they're not as strong, but
plenty of more brands out there, Doc.
Definitely loads more brands out there. Silk Cut. Do they even exist anymore?
Yeah, I think.
I've not seen a Silk Cut on a shelf for ages, but to be honest, they're all like brown packets now, aren't
they?
They're
all like that. Yeah,
true.
You know what I mean? So you can't tell.
So
even the shopkeepers are having difficulty.
They do actually. They do. They're like, it's that one there. It's that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, anyway. I know it's the fourth shelf down, third one along there.
Sort your neck out. You work here. Well,
sort of
I've been felt a bit rough, a bit down, a bit rough. And I don't know why it is, but it's just lockdown life, innit? But I have been binge watching a few series, which I absolutely want to rave on about. Umbrella Academy season 2 just dropped on Netflix. Totally recommend it. If you've not checked it out, I do recommend starting at the beginning. 2 seasons out, but it's one of them, definitely binge worthy. Umbrella Academy, if you're down with it, don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, because I'm not watching it because you already spoiled it for me, to be honest.
Sorry. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
No, I'm not going to watch it anyway. I haven't got the time.
Well, this is the thing about graphic novel-based TV shows, really, because this is, again, it's a Black Horse comic graphic novel. It's actually, I think it was written by one of My Chemical Romance. Before the band picked up, he was an avid comic book writer, and not the main guy, but one of the band. I'm pretty sure that's right. I could be wrong, but I do believe that's true. Then, it's got a great soundtrack. Yeah, his music is very heavily influenced in the show, and that does come across. It's got, a great cast, which, as an American show, a lot of English actors seem to be hopping the pond and sticking on an American accent. Hi, y'all.
Great, man.
And doing a bit overseas. It's good stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, do recommend it. Check it out. There's one for you to watch. Another one I've been watching, similar vein, which is a DC proper, Doom Patrol.
Not for DC thing.
Yeah, it's a bit kind of like.
Look, don't get me wrong. They try to get in there and try to get the money in the way to do it, but I think they're doing it totally wrong.
It's okay. Yeah, it's one of them shows that I'm kind of like, I've started it. I'm a couple of episodes in. I'm not sure where it's going yet. So, but it's got, what's he called? Matthew Broderick, I want to say.
All right.
Yeah, he's in it, and he plays a kind of a decent part, but he's not really in it as such because his character is a robot. So, he's briefly in sections, but it's mainly voice acting for him in this. But Not bad.
All right.
Not bad
A
to
narrator.
start.
Does he narrate over a lot of it?
There is narration, but the narration is so self-aware. It's almost Deadpoolish, where it's kind of like, you know,
right.
it addresses the audience. It addresses how fucking stupid things are, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. To be honest, I'm kind of like, I want to make my own opinion of it. I don't want you to tell me what my opinion should be, and I don't want you to have to point things out, because I mean, exposition's one thing, but then, you know, these just pointing it out because your audience is the dumbass and they
but if you
don't
wasn't
know
concentrating enough on certain aspects of it, that you might have missed a line of what something comes up later on.
Everybody's got to go to the toilet. Everyone's got to stick the kettle on every now and again. That's why pause buttons were invented. But yeah, I suppose. Yeah, all right then. I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or go to the toilet and fucking watch it.
Yeah, that's true nowadays, yeah. You could just go, sorry family, I'm just going to take this with me to the toilet. Oh, charming. Well, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on tonight's topic as well, which has been really interesting. And, you know, to be honest, it was really kind of addictive once it got going. I was like, oh, mate, I like this, you know, and then, like, it was all the follow-ups and, like, whether this is still going on and all the rest of it. And if you don't know what we're talking about, if the title of the episode hasn't clued you in as of yet, we'll be talking about the Mothman prophecy. Or the Mothman.
Yeah.
Is he more than one of them?
Actually, yes.
I think they might be.
Yes, I will go with more than one.
I'd say Mothman.
I'll explain that later on in there.
Yeah, no, well, I've got some bits on that which we can talk about as well.
Which we will.
But first, I've got a bit of a riddle for you.
Oh, riddle me this, riddle me that.
Riddle me this. Well, here you go. Are you ready?
I'm looking at my clock.
You got it.
Right. Yeah, I'm ready.
Right, okay. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? And I will give you to the end of the... It will come alive with wind, and I will give you to the end of the episode to work it out. Hey!
I have a mouth.
I'll repeat it one more time. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?
Leaf.
Nope. And I will let you know later. So, there you go. One thing that I've got to say, I've had some lovely messages regarding our 100th episode, which is fast approaching. We got, I think it's the 12th of September. It works out around about, I think. Should be our 100th live episode. So we've had a lot of messages asking how they can get involved, what we're doing, and that's kind of a bit like, you know, play it by ear. It's live. We don't know. Yeah.
We got callers.
We're going to have, we'll be putting some more information out a bit sooner. I mean, in due course. We want your questions. We'll be giving away some bits and pieces. So the better question you have and the more conversation it sparks up, the more chance you've got of bagging yourself a goodie. We'll be live on YouTube, so you'll be able to hit us questions up as we're recording.
Live. Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a good do. I think we've had, like I say, we've had some brilliant messages, and we've been getting sent some stuff. Yeah, right. Which we will show off. on the show. But
there's two of us, not like one of us.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we fucking hell. Yeah. Thanks, Road. Road sent us a brilliant gift this week. Road microphones, which we really appreciate of. Because they're lovely people over at Road. And they do some good podcasting equipment. If you want to get yourself something, make sure you go Road. Because, you know, other podcasting...
There's no other road to go down.
I fucking love it. Well put, sir. Do you know what? If
Checks
that's not,
in the post.
Checks in the post. If that's not a fucking endorsement, I don't know what is. Well, yeah, so we've... Road sent us a baseball cap, right? They didn't send us 2 baseball caps, so we could sport one each or anything.
For that line, I want one. I know. One for that
I did message him. I did say, I love the hat, but, you know, any chance you could send us both one. Well, we'll probably give it away at the on the 100th anyway. Saves the arguments in the studio, I think.
That's true.
But it leads me to a little thing I want to do is if you want to do us some fan art, because we've had some stuff sent, we've got some on its way, and if you want to get involved and do us any piece of fan art, it doesn't have to necessarily be about me and Taylor, it could be a topic of the show, it could be the logo, could be whatever you want, aliens, Bigfoot, pick a topic,
Keep it clean, though.
Keep it as clean as you like, mate. If you've got an alien with a big dick, then I'll show it, as long as there's no kids watching. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is an over 18 fucking episode show after all. But right, send us some stuff. We'll be showing the best stuff on the show. But if you want to get involved, send us an email, neverstraightanswer@gmail.com, and we'll be having a look at that. So
and we'll be showing all the views
in the gallery.
Show your art.
Excellent. Yeah. So, I'm thinking we've not got this week a what's fucked up where you're from.
No.
But that's not to say it won't be coming back next week, because we've had a lot of interest. We had a lot of people messaging us this week about what's fucked up where you're from. I've been sent a couple of really, really good stories and really good folklaws from people's areas. So I'm going to do a bit of research on them, and we'll be back next week with a what's fucked up where you're from. But I think this week's episode's quite interesting, and we're going to be hitting into it straight away this week, because why not? We've got so much to cover.
Oh, yeah.
So,
fucking hell.
Like I say, this week we're going to be talking Mothman and Mothman prophecies. Basically, prophets of doom is something that comes up quite a lot when the Mothman are around, and when I'm reading into these or watching the documentaries, they do seem to say the Mothman appears when there's a tragedy about to strike, when something's going to happen, when there's a disaster, and is it a warning? Is it an early warning? Is it just like an angel of death, where they're just they show up when this thing's inevitable? We're going to look into it. So, since 2002, the town of Point Pleasant has celebrated a Mothman festival, and that happens on the third weekend of every September. So, if you're in West Virginia and you're in Point Pleasant, get over to the Mothman festival, because it sounds amazing. I'd love to go to see it. And they've even erected a 12-foot tall statue of the Mothman in the centre of Point Pleasant. So but there's a lot of people that it's scary.
Agreed with it and also disagreed with it.
How do you mean?
It seems to be there that they're like a 50-50 there now, that they don't agree and they agree that it should be there.
What, the statue?
About. Yeah.
At all? Well, like I say, I've got something we'd like to talk about this later on. So we'll go into this. Whether you think it's if it's legit or not, the Mothman Prophecies by Gray... the Mothman was actually originally popularised by Gray Barker in 1970 and later adapted into a novel by John Keel in 1975. The Mothman Prophecies, which was the book, and then adapted to a movie of the same name starring Richard Gere. This is basically a report. It's obviously a fictionalized account, but it's based on the prophecies or the story of the Mothman.
There's a lot of truths in it.
Yeah, where a reporter is drawn to a small West Virginia town to investigate a series of strange events, including psychic visions and bizarre goings-on. Good film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film.
Directed by Mark Pellington. Like I say, starring Richard Gere, and adapted to screenplay by John A. Keel. The other names for the Mothman: the Winged Man, the Man-Sized Bird, the Thing, Creature, Monster. Not very original. The Winged Monster, the Bird Monster, just to name a few. Like I say, it could have come. I think Mothman is the most kind of like original in terms of like the names that they've come up with it. But there is
Where did it come from?
Well, the thing is, the moth. It was just all about description. The newspapers and media actually popularised the term the Mothman, as we will discover a bit later on.
I think started it off.
That's right. So the West Virginia folklore of the Mothman was created after people reported seeing this figure in Point Pleasant area from around the 12th of November 1966. It carried on up until December 15th, 1967, and the first newspaper reports was published in Point Pleasant, and that was basically dated around the 16th of November 1966, when reports first started coming in. So there was a little confusion about the what's to be considered the first true Mothman encounter, but we believe that the first one wasn't the first documented case that happened, and the first case that actually did occur was the 12th of November 1966, when 5 grave diggers were at a cemetery in is it Clendon, West Virginia, and they claimed to have seen a man-like figure flying low over the trees, low over the heads, and basically they've identified this as the first known sighting, and it's of what has become the Mothman.
They thought he was attacking them.
Well, all 5 men spoke openly about what they'd witnessed, and one even said, "If it was just me who'd seen it, I wouldn't have said anything, but we all saw it. 5 of us saw it, and it was over our heads for at least 30 minutes. So, there was blatant sighting of this thing, something. So, not long after that, it was around mid-November the 15th, 1966, and 2 couples were travelling through Point Pleasant. Roger and Lynn Sharsbury and Steve and Mary Malte, is it? Malte. Told the police that they saw a large grey creature with glowing red eyes, and basically when the car headlights picked it up, they basically saw a large flying man with 10-foot wings, and it followed the car whilst they were driving. And one of the witnesses said, she said it was so near the car, it wasn't human. It was like nothing. They were going hell to leather down this road, and there was like nothing face to face out the window. She was asked, actually, did you see it flying? Did you see if it had wings? And she said, well, she didn't see if it had wings or not, but it was so fast at the side of the car, there was no human that could keep up with the vehicle. No. So
over 100 miles an hour as well at the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what they reckon it was clocking at. So they've seen this glowing red eyes, this thing's flying past the car, 10-foot wingspan. So they've got outside the area, and they've hit into an area what's known in the area as the TNT area of town. Yeah. And this site was a former World War II munitions plant. So the TNT area, which is located at 1335 Porter Creek Road, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, is, it's a bit of abandoned now because it used to contain munitions, bombs.
I believe it's a nature reserve now.
It is indeed. It's now called the McClinnick Wildlife Management Area.
Yeah, but there is still a big part of it where there was toxins left there, which actually on the EPA is the 33rd most important place to clean up in America.
The Environmental Protection Agency put it as 30, so it's on their top 50, basically, in places to go in. And that's
highly
fair.
Toxic area.
Well, it's fucking like, it's one of those, though. It's like, if you think about like places like Chernobyl, where you've got like high radiation, and people being born in that area would have had sort of birth defects and stuff like that. Could it be that there's that much toxicity in the area that there was somebody who's, a bit like the Fly, maybe is mutated or no. Go on.
And the reason why I say no is because the period of it being a munitions building, as soon as World War II finished in 1945, they closed it straight down.
Well, you wouldn't have any need for it.
It'd only been about 20 years, and it was too short of a time
for something
to actually have developed.
I can, totally see that.
Yeah, apart from that, it must. And unless there was already an issue with an animal or a person, that there was something else wrong with them, and this actually brought something else with it, which the way things are, I can't see, to be honest.
Well, some people believe that this is where the Mothman dwells. It's one of the in one of these old munitions bunkers. One of the documentaries I watched, they believe that the Mothman's still there in Point Pleasant, and it's
still,
it's a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy, mate, because they go into this bunker and it's like you can hear this noise, and he said, "Yeah, that's the moths," and he just looks really pleased with himself, like, and then all of a sudden it stops, and it's like,
it looks nothing like a moth.
What? No, well, it's like, well, yeah, exactly. This is, I think this looks, it's, we'll go into the descriptions because I've got some descriptions of it actually here. But back to the two couples. So they were about 6 miles north of the city, and in the area they'd set aside by the city wildlife preserve just to kind of look for birds. Yeah, on the wildlife preservation. There's probably swinging or doing a bit of dogging. But, you know,
probably dogging.
But the area has many underground tunnels and caves, and it's a pretty kind of a bit of a wild place. There's plenty of places for hiding or nesting. So, you know, first thing is that caught their attention was these two large glowing red eyes that appeared peeping through the darkness. They could also make out a strange shape of a creature about 6 or 7 feet tall, with basically the shape of a human that appeared with wings unfolding around the sides of its back. So shit yourself time, isn't it, really? You know, you're out in the middle of nowhere, out in the sticks. You've got your missus with you, she's looking at you like, defend me, protect me, and all this.
Defend you. You go for you want.
I'm going to get my gun.
It's
like, for fuck's sake. So it's like, back in the car.
Get in the fucking car.
You know,
you fuck off. I'm coming for you. Let me get the baseball bat.
Well, during the next few days, other people started to report similar sightings of a large winged creature over the skies of Point Pleasant.
Between 6 and 9 feet tall. There's all different sizes from the sounds of things.
Well, I've had a look and I've found some descriptions, so we'll get into the descriptions in a sec. But so now, based on the countless Mothman documentaries and eyewitnesses of the Mothman, at some point or another, eyewitness testimonies are all describing it the same way. It's a bipedal winged humanoid, as they put it. Do you know, it's looks human, it's big wings, 7 feet tall. So they describe the Mothman, which again, like I said earlier, was only given the name by the media because, like I say, it actually looks more like a large humanoid owl, if anything. And they reckon that it's kind of a mix of black, grey, and even brown sort of colouring. It's about 7 feet tall, with a wingspan of around 10 to 15 feet, and like you said earlier, can fly up to about 100 miles an hour. Now, one thing I was thinking about, is this kind of like the Roswell incident, as in the sense that it's a tourist boost, you know? You get a few... Now I'm talking. I mean, not at the time, because obviously something was seen. People saw something. But you ask anybody in Point Pleasant now, and they're all like, I saw the Mothman down the village post office. I seen him.
They're comparing the area to, you know, that ranch? That scary ranch?
Oh, the Skinwalker.
Skinwalker Ranch, they're comparing it because there's loads of stuff been going on there for generations. Like, well, I mean, I've even gone back and seen about it actually had a curse put on.
Oh
there.
Yeah, what's this about a curse?
Right. Well, there was a chief that from one tribe who ended up living in the fort there with his son. So. This chief had been known, and everyone liked him and all this, so everything was fine. And then a couple of years after him and his son lived in there, because don't forget there was still this big fight, don't trust Indians, and don't trust the white man, you know, all that kind of stuff still going on. So there was 2 soldiers who went out on a trip. One of them come back because another tribe had actually tried to kill him.
Right, okay.
Killed his mate. He escaped, come back to the fort, and told the people what had actually happened. And lo and behold,
this thing appears.
No, they decide to kill this Indian chief and his son.
So then they've been cursed.
So it was said that when he died, he put a curse on the place.
Now it's funny you should mention this because I was looking into a guy. Let me just find his notes because I was going to talk about it a bit later on. But since you brought it up. A report which was released in 2002 and then revised again in 2003 by Daniel V. Bullington, basically talking about the resemblances between the Mothman and the Indian artifact or legend of the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Now, the purpose of his report was to draw the similarities between the 1600s Indian Thunderbird artifact, as well as what's now been dubbed the Mothman. Looking at it, mate, it's fucking very, very, very close, right? Now, the Thunderbird, I mean, the article I've got, it seems that this guy's kind of like been really looking into it. I mean, he's kind of drawing these conclusions about. He's kind of found sketches that were which were drawn by a guy called Coleman, and it's they're uncannily similar. Yeah, you've got the Thunderbird, which when you look at it, it's still kind of got this like sort of beaked, pointed head. Yeah, but it's kind of like, but the rest of it, it's like Mothman. It looks identical to what the descriptions of the Mothman are. Now,
so it's got a helmet.
Almost, yeah. But that kind of makes me think when it's called a Thunderbird, because if you see this thing flying over in the sky, it would still resemble the shape of a bird. Now, potentially, you could argue that shape of a bird looks like the shape of a man, you know, and there has been.
But
there has been kind of a few people come forward and, you know, talk about what the actual, what it actually could be in terms of like another animal or another species or anything like that.
Too big, and it flies more like a bat than a bird, apparently, according to zoologists and shit.
So I've got this 2 volunteer firemen who said that they saw it. They saw a large bird with red eyes. The Mason County Sheriff's George Johnson commented, and he said that he believed the sighting was due to like an unusually large heron or a shitty poke, as it's known. They reckon that it was kind of native to the area, and they kind of had, but they said that there was a buzzing noise. And he said that could be like, you know, noise from a television buzzing or, you know, like whatever. He said that the glowing eyes could have been like bicycle reflectors or something. Do you know, he's really tried to kind of put a spanner in the works. Then wildlife biologist Dr. Robert L. Smith of West Virginia University told reporters that the descriptions and sightings fit the description of a sandhill crane and a large American crane almost as high as a man with several feet wingspan. And this one, it kind of adds more credence to it when you find out that it's got red-coloured markings around its eyes. So, you know, looking at this crane,
but
the sandhill crane.
Dark.
No, that's the thing. They don't glow red.
They've got a light.
It's just coloration, isn't it? At the end of the day, they don't glow red, and this is what people are saying that they've seen. But you know, but then I think of owls. Like owls, they have kind of glowing, almost kind of like reddy, orangey eyes.
Well, we've already got an owl man in Cornwall.
Owl man.
Yeah, we've got an owl man in Cornwall. It's been there since 1976. 2 girls walking on holiday and seen summit floating above the church. and scared him. Gone and told the father. The father asked him to draw it. As soon as he drawed it, he went right, get in the car and fucking off.
Oh.
And then in 1978, 79, 89, and even as 1995, and even 2020.
Fucking hell. Well, what was known and became known as the Mothman, this creature would be seen multiple times over the next 15 months in Point Pleasant area. And it was estimated that there were over 100 sightings within this time. Although these reports were not really legit. There wasn't, there's no evidence of this amount of reports being made. And
well, a lot
some
of people
them
didn't say anything
a little bit sketchy. But that's what brings me back, right, to this the Roswell thing, right? Now, you've got a town that's been built. Point Pleasant built on this myth to the fact that you've got a statue in the town centre. You have a festival every year. It draws people to the area. It's good business. It's good community. It's good. It's just a good thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to bring tourism, all that shit, yeah? Now, wouldn't you think that it'd be better for people to be all on board with it? If it was one person saying, I saw it, you'd be just like local kook. But it's not. It's the whole town.
But their economic problems, I was checking out their how they did after the incident, how well they were doing. And even up to today, they're still only just managing to get by. And they're crawling out of their debts or economic problems. But they have been, like half of them have moved away from there since the incident happened. There was only originally 5,000 people who lived there.
Oh, right,
and they basically...
Well, I think that some people would probably move out of the area anyway, but it's like, I mean, the people who stayed, they're the people who were, like, on board with this prophecy, the Mothman, the whole thing, right? But obviously there was a lot of reports, but one of the strangest sightings by far led to the Silver Bridge collapse, which happened on December the 15th, 1967. There was a number of sightings of the Mothman flying over and underneath the Point Pleasant landmark Silver Bridge hours before it would eventually collapse, leading to the death of 46 people. The incident gave rise to the legend and continued the Mothman sightings. There
was a big turn there where it was not. It
was
wasn't
probably
seen for
not
a long
believed.
time.
Well, I think it was over 15 months from that initial sighting.
13 months.
I'm going to put my foot down and say it was 15 months because I've got it here.
I've got to say 13 months because of the 13th knot.
Right, well, do you want an argument about it?
Yeah,
because
go on, then. What are you going to do about it, Sam?
I'll tell you now.
Let's agree to disagree.
Okay, hear me out. So, the first documented sighting was on the 12th of November 1966. Yeah, and that was the two grave diggers, right? So count forward, November 12th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967.
15 months.
Which would be 15 months, right? Yeah. So, anyway, on December...
Why do you all say fucking 13 months
Because they're all retarded and they don't do the fucking research. That's what it is. You know what I mean? What you want to do out there, if you're a bit confused, come and listen to the Never a Straight Answer podcast and we'll set you right. So, obviously, it's a tragedy. 46 people. This incident gave rise to the legend of the Mothman, and sightings over the bridge gave rise to the idea that this was a harbinger of doom. The winged figure's intention, was it to warn the people of the bridge of disaster, or was it a case of that it was, like I say, just this shadowy death figure just here to let you know that shit's about to hit the fan?
No, by one man and one baby and a woman, there was no more injuries. And the reason why the baby and woman, when the woman seen it, she dropped her baby. It was the only instant she dropped her baby, and she fell on top of on the baby. And
was this just a sighting? Down. Like, not? I mean, because obviously nearly 50 people died on the bridge.
she was scared so much and she couldn't move, and she tried to get herself off, knowing that she's like on a baby, but she couldn't until the object moved, and then when the Mothman was gone, she got back up.
That's mothering that's just protecting your kid, mate. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like mums. I don't know where it comes from, but it's like that adrenaline shit. You know, like if your kid's in an accident, you know, there's been mums out there that lift cars. Yeah. You know, I remember once when I was younger, actually, there was an incident that happened, and I've never seen my mum move so fast. Yeah, because one of her kids got it. She scaled a fence, like a 4-foot fence, like leapt it, pregnant. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I've never seen anything like it, and I was just like, that's you know, fucking hell.
That's over the top, girl. What are you doing?
Well, it's fucking cause, isn't it? So anyway,
and the second person to get hurt was a man who looked at it, and he had something with his eye. And his eye kept watering. It's never gone down to this day.
Yeah. So what's he got? Just like a bit of Mothman shit in his eye.
Up knows. Whatever had happened when he looked at it,
it blew his
damaged
mind.
His eye.
It's damaged his eye.
They're the only 3 incidences that I know of that had actually someone had actually gotten.
But is that not just because they panicked? Because at the end of the day, it's like you see something strange, your instincts kick in, you're going to panic, right? Now, maybe it was just the fact that she saw something that made her jump on top of a kid, you know, to protect it. But there's nothing there to say that this animal or figure was actually coming after her. You know what I mean? It was like, it's only, I mean, in terms of the eyewitness accounts that I've been checking out, it's interested in what you're doing, but it doesn't actually interfere. So the closest anyone seems to have got to it is that woman who said it was running at the side of the car or flying at the side of the car.
And she doesn't talk about it. Her husband only talks about it. She's still scared to this day, and I believe she got invited to the place where the incident actually happened. She'd never been there again after the incident, but she agreed to go along. And when she went there, and then they showed like a video of a reenactment. There's a documentary out there called Dark Winds.
Oh yeah.
It's a different kind of documentary, but he does it like a 60-minute, you know, interviews and stuff. And,
well, I'll be posting some links up to some of the more compelling Mothman documentaries. Definitely worth checking a few out, and you'll find yourself getting deeper and deeper in that rabbit hole.
They made like a video of what she'd said and what people had said of the actual object, and then when they showed it her, she went back in the shelf. She absolutely shit herself and said, I wanted to see it, but don't show it me again. And went back home, and she doesn't talk about it at all. Well, only her husband goes through talking about it.
Well, on the bridge, it took several days to retrieve all the cars, trucks, and bodies from the water. People who tragically lost their lives that day on the Silver Bridge collapse went down as the bridge actually went down as the single worst disaster in US history in terms of bridges.
At that time.
It was a sad thing, and I mean, obviously everyone in town, it was a small community, everyone knew somebody who'd been involved in that accident. It must have been a terrible sort of couple of weeks,
as well.
Just before Christmas as well, you know what I mean? The only bridge out of town. It's like one of those movies, isn't it? It's like,
make.
Shit, and they destroyed the only bridge out of town.
10 years to make that
to
bridge
rebuild
again.
it. Fucking hell.
It was a 25-mile run to go all the way down to another bridge, cross it, and then do another 25 down to go to the other side.
So, like I say, it was a tragic event, but it was a case of what adds credence to the Mothman thing is that there was the sightings there just before, and whether this was an omen, whether it was, a prophecy. And this is where, this comes into in the books, in the film, whether
Whether it's
having
doing it
premonitions
or is it
and all the rest of it.
or trying to
exactly, yeah. I mean, but the thing is, in terms of like, you know, trying preventary measures, yeah, right. When you've got a prophecy, right, or say, for instance, you travel back in time and you change something, right, then you've got then a sort of a conundrum, if you like, because how do you know that you trying to prevent this or stop it isn't the catalyst for it starting in the first place? So
well,
is it better to do nothing or pursue it and try and sort it out? It's one of those, shit. Well, if I do nothing, it could bring it on. If I did something, it could bring it on. It's a bit of a catch-22 situation. You're fucked no matter what you do, really.
Yeah, but have you noticed every time you talk about this, it's the first thing they say?
What?
Don't change. Don't change anything. If you go back in time, do not change anything.
Yeah, but that's
why
the
do
thing.
You think they say that?
That's because of the butterfly effect. It's like a butterfly flaps its wings in China and there's a tsunami somewhere. But the fact is...
Yeah, but then again, they might not be.
But no. But the thing is, how do you know that you're being... Right, okay. Off topic, because we're going into a time travel-y sort of scenario here. But if you travelled back in time, yeah, and you changed something... How do you know that you weren't always meant to go back and change it to make things the way it should be in the first place? By doing nothing, then you could be preventing... You could go home to a totally different future. And it's like, well
no, because it wouldn't have changed.
Well, no, because...
If you've done nothing...
No, you're not clocking what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, if you went back in time, yeah, how do you know that you weren't always meant to go back in time? Just because things are the way they are now, you go to a couple of days down the line and all of a sudden you find yourself 20 years back in time, yeah? How do you know that was never always meant to happen? So now you're back in 20 years in the past, which was the way things supposed to be. You had to do something there in order for your life to be how it was. It's
simple, because it doesn't matter then, does it? Well,
no, because then by doing nothing and following the rules of, I'm supposed to not do anything because of the butterfly effect, then essentially you could fuck shit up. Anyway, talking about the strange and I'm talking more prophecies, but I mean the more strange things that were happening around Point Pleasant were soon after the bridge collapsed. Several days, actually, people started claiming mystery strangers arriving in town asking questions about the incident and reportedly attempting to threaten several witnesses regarding their reports of the strange occurrences, such as the Mothman. They wanted them to be silent, shut the fuck up, we don't want to hear it. These reports...
Even under the bridge.
These reports of dark, shadowy figures and Eastern European looks. Expressionless faces and strange eyes, sometimes covered in dark sunglasses.
Or known as weirdos.
Or the Men in Black.
Yeah, weirdos.
That some people say. On the night of the TNT sighting, a bright burning UFO was seen crashing. Crashing to the ground, basically, and the sightings of two large red eyes about a foot apart and glowing in the night were spotted. The bright burning UFO, they reckon, was assumed to be an aeroplane crash. But this is kind of like until the reports began to come in about the sightings of the monster.
And I've at the time, a couple of days before the bridge went under, there was two men in black underneath the bridge, climbing around the bridge and inspecting it. Well, at the time that...
It's funny that, isn't it? I was just about to say that, yeah, because isn't it...
we're FBI.
I was going to say, isn't it always funny how, like, you know, I said I wasn't going to talk about this because we were looking into other areas where this Mothman might have cropped up, and one of them was trade centres, right?
Yeah.
But funny thing was, there was G-men all over that building a couple of days before, yeah, and then an incident happens. Yeah, it's funny that. But then again, got shadowy figures hovering, messing around with the bridge. Yeah, what were they doing? You know, it's
13th bolt went. I think it was the 13th bolt.
It was a lot of
the one that
13s
split.
actually, because it was on the first. Was it the 13th of the month or the third? You know, no, it was the 15th of the month, wasn't it? But like the 13th bolt on the bridge went that made it thingy. But that's where the Mothman were seen floating around, and that's where the Men in Black were seen.
And when it went down, it was actually at the same time there was UFOs seen a couple of miles down the road. There was something going on there as well, apparently. What else was there? I just had a fucking list of them then.
I've got a lot of kind of different sightings from around the world, basically. But in 2016, WCHS TV published a photo proposed to be the Mothman taken by an anonymous man whilst driving down Route 2. They reckon that this was a bird or perhaps an owl carrying a frog or snake away. But he wrote that it was basically there was zero reasons to suspect it was Mothman. But that doesn't stop people believing that it was, you know. But it doesn't stop with the locals believing in the Mothman legend, and, you know, they believe that it's returned to Point Pleasant. Rather that, or it didn't leave. Because there's been actual sightings since around 2012 of the beast, and it's like, well, is it kind of a case of that they're just trying to drum it up, and now we've got? I mean, I'm not being funny, but the actual festival started the same year.
Don't get me wrong. Like you were saying,
I seen them off, man.
They were getting on,
driving
a
truck,
get some money back.
Which
it's fair enough, and they desperately needed it, no doubt. But no, because there's still weird shit that's been going on that like.
No, I've got no objections with cashing in on a local legend. If Loch Ness do it, Nessies do it, you know, Roswell do it.
Not, but the evidence seems that there's something.
It's what makes your area charming, if you ask me. You know what I mean? It's like you can offer something a bit different to the people. Like, you know, you're interested in cryptids, that type of thing. Mate, come down. We're having a festival.
Don't get me wrong. Not all of them are on the bandwagon on it. A lot of them are like, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, of course,
I do not want to talk about it. We have I just leave me alone on it.
Well,
but like, so, and there has been fights against, arguments against having the statues or like naming the road or even having the festival and that. But at the end of the day,
the statues, it's more of a sculpture, isn't it? It's more kind of like modern art, sort of welded.
I don't think it looks anything like it.
It's a nice, no, it's not to say it's a nice statue. It's kind of spooky, and I mean, kids must shit it when they see that.
Yeah,
you know, because it's not exactly like, you know, oh, this was the founder of the town or whatever, you know.
Then again, you don't want a real statue of it, because if that like the witnesses that like don't like talking about it or even scared to this day on it, walk down the street and all of a sudden you see that fucker there.
Okay, now.
So I suppose it was a bit of fun, make it a bit fun.
Well, I think it doesn't look fun. It looks a bit kind of ruthless.
It looks more like fun than it looks like evil bastard.
I think it looks a bit evil. We'll post a photo. You tell us what you think, and it looks like a knight, doesn't it? It looks like a suit of armor with wings.
Where it's supposed to be black.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's
like I say, the Mothman's not only been seen and sighted in West Virginia. It's been stories about this have been all over the world. I mean, a trucker reported a sighting of the Mothman at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. A truck driver who stopped at O'Hare International Airport on November the 26th, 2019, claimed he spotted a person with wings about 7 feet tall standing on the fence while he took a smoke break.
It's Batman. It's Batman, man. Someone's taking it down a little bit street.
Like, man, I saw a man. He was 7 feet tall. He was standing on the fence. I was having a smoke. What was you smoking?
Batman was big in 1966.
Like,
you know what I mean? So that's where the Mothman come from. It was one of his.
Well, no,
enemies.
This was last year. This was last November 2019. This guy reportedly seeing the Mothman. The Mothman's allegedly also saved lives of the miners in Freiburg in Germany on September 10th, 1978. A group of miners
Didn't help them miners, did he?
How do you know? They all got out.
Very
you
good.
see.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
apparently,
it did help.
in Germany on September the 10th, 1978, a group of miners in Germany came face to face with seemingly headless creature with glowing red eyes on its chest, and it blocked the mine entrance. At first, they thought it was a man in a trench coat, but they basically quickly realised it wasn't a coat. It was more like large black wings wrapping around him, like you were saying, a bat. The man remained. The men remained in the mine, basically mine entrance, stunned and stared at the creature until it let out a blood curdling screech that sent the miners scrambling out. About an hour later, the men felt a sort of rumble and witnessed a plume of dust as the mine collapsed. So basically, if they wouldn't have got out when they did, they would have all been trapped in that mine. Do you know what I mean?
Seems to me like a black angel.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the angel of death, isn't it? But to an extent,
yeah.
The Mothman basically may have been trying to warn them. You know what I mean? Which leads me to the next encounter. The Mothman could have been warning the people of Fukushima in Japan. Is it China or Japan? I don't know. When there was a disaster, an American visit in Japan. Yeah, it is in Japan. Was out with friends in Fukushima. I hope I'm saying that right. Fukushima.
It sounds right.
The Fukushima plant, when that suddenly heard a loud whooshing sound and a terrible screeching, they looked up and towards the plant, and they saw a figure, a dark, shadowy figure, just before the incident there. A Mothman also allegedly was connected to the Chernobyl disaster, according to a Russian newspaper, and Russian ufologists claim that the Mothman sightings had been seen over in Moscow, foreshadowing the 1999 Russian apartment building bombings.
Yeah, it's to do with the Czech fighting, wasn't it? The Czechs were trying to... they were doing a bit of terrorism at the time.
So, it's not even a case of that it's been, just isolated to one area. Now, I think, and obviously going into this Indian Thunderbird legend.
Yeah, what do you know about that? As in, it's what is it there for? What does it represent? Why, if you've seen it, what would it mean to a Red Indian?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, if it was, what if it was known as a good omen or a bad omen?
Well,
the Thunderbird is a mythical creature that appears in many Native American legends. From numerous stories of the Thunderbird, it's often assumed that the Thunderbird is a protector, although at times this creature can be forced to punish those with low moral integrity. So if you're a fucking bad lad, all the rest of it. Then
not necessarily that. It could be necessarily stuff like, Chernobyl's gone up. The people who didn't get what they wanted out of it were those who put the money into it and wanted to do the shortness here and short backs here and lose all the money and success or whatever. Could mean through that.
Well, there's a lot of curiosity surrounding the existence of the Thunderbird myth. Many claim that those myths are simply symbols that are used to explain natural weather phenomenon. So, this is the thing, isn't it? And again, people back, you just explain things the way you understand them, don't you? So, you're Native American, you see kind of like strange weather anomalies, and what do you put it down to is, but again, these guys are very spiritual people. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they've got a very, quite a strong connection to the earth and to the wind and the fucking elements that I wouldn't be surprised that it was, something that was in existence in the States way before they colonized it. and you know, basically it's a continuation of this, you know, trend, if you like, you know. Well, but like that interested me when you said about the curse, because obviously, you know, these Native Americans have put this curse on these guys as a, you know, for you know, killing the chief and killing his son. So at the end of the day, it's like, does that not fall into the category of having low moral, you know, integrity?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exactly say how long. Like you notice with the Mothman when he turns up that like you don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen between now and the future. You don't know if it's going to happen in 2 weeks' time. There's no recommended. I saw the Mothman, so in 2 weeks' time,
shit's going to hit the fan.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's
I can tell you one thing. Yeah, it's going to happen in November. Yeah, because a lot of these things seem to happen in November, and I don't know if that's because there's less tree coverage and there's a lot more you can see, and you know, you're able to see through the trees a bit more when they're all bare in the fall, and you see these shadowy figures kind of moving around the trees or behind the tree line a little bit clearer than you would normally. Maybe, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I suppose if there's a lot of people out there who knew about Mothman or listened about him, I mean, I suppose it's the same as UFOs. You won't know unless you look up. I
think it's very interesting. You know what I mean? There's so much more to it, and I think this is something I'm going to be definitely looking into a bit more. In terms of any more information you've got that you want to throw out there, I mean, is there anything that you kind of come up that I've not covered, or any other incidents? Because, I mean, there's so many kind of eyewitness accounts. I was trying to find a couple.
Sprint Hill Jack.
So many. Go on, Sprint Hill Jack.
Yeah, Sprint Hill Jack was a guy in London many moons ago where he could jump for yards. They didn't say, like, he had a cape. He was always dressed in black.
That's Batman again.
It basically looks like Batman again. Yeah. But instead of flying, he can jump for like yards.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. Hundreds of yards he could do in one jump.
He can leap buildings in a single bound.
Yeah, basically.
Faster than a locomotive.
Well, apparently he's been spotted over in America.
His cape's a bit moth-eaten. Well. His cape's a bit moth-eaten though, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit. He'll have to get a new one.
So what's he called?
Spring
Hill Jack.
Spring-heeled
Jack. And is he spring-heeled because he could jump?
Because he could jump now. That's what I mean.
That's awesome.
In London in the 1800s.
I love nicknames when they're so appropriate. It's like, what's he do? Oh, he jumps, he springs. Yeah. He's got springy heels. Spring-heel Jack. Yeah, I like
it. That's it. Boom. Say what you see. Say what you see,
son. Say what you see.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's what you do.
Well, that's me. I think I've covered most of my Mothman bull. So
I did Owlman, didn't I?
What?
Owlman. Yeah, I did Owlman. The Owlman from Cornwall.
Well, a bit more on. I've just got a little bit more on this thingy, the Thunderbird. So
yeah.
Oh, have I closed it? I think I've closed the fucking tab. Like I know. Now here we go. So basically, like I say, he's the main differences between the Mothman's description and the Thunderbird is that the artifact is crafted with a head. So basically, this is an artifact that's been found, like a carving or whatever, and this is made in the 1600s. So the most striking similarities are the eye placement. The Thunderbird artifact has two holes placed on its chest, where the Mothman's described, where the eyes are on the description of the Mothman. Other than that, it is absolutely spot on. Museum staff have said that if the holes were meant as eyes, they were lacing holes, for like a necklace or something like that. Yeah. But that's not what people say. People look at it, and on first impression, they see eyes. Do you know what I mean? Whereas,
and it's generally your first impression, isn't it? If you're looking at something, especially like a jewellery, what's your first impression?
Well, you definitely think it. But you definitely see eyes. I did. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, the experts at these museums are saying there's a reason why. And, you know, and actually this was recovered in, where is this? Amskeg Falls, Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester represents.
Manchester, yeah.
Different Manchester, but, you know, you only named it because of us. You know what I mean?
Following the lead, you get me.
It's a great place. And on the seventh day, God created Manchester. So, I mean, it's interesting. I'm going to look into a bit more of this Thunderbird stuff because this is a bit of information that I came across late in the day. And it was only because I found this article by, I forgot his name now. Daniel V. Bolden. Yeah. And it was just the fact that there was such similarities between the two that it was worth bringing up. So
well, here's another one.
Go on.
There's also another legend from around them parts called the Flatwood Monster in West Virginia.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah.
Which roamed around there around 1952.
It's all going on down West Virginia. West Virginia.
Yeah. Between Flatwood in
Take me
Broxton
home.
County.
Mothman Road. Yeah. Right. Well, moving on. We've got a lot to cover and we're running out of time. So without further ado, is the news. It's the news. Oh yeah. It's the news again. You love it. And we have scoured the internet for a good 20 minutes looking for this week's most crazy and random stories for your enjoyment.
Yeah.
Well, some of them. Well, one of them. Maybe. Who knows?
We don't know.
Have you got anything? Any news you want to talk about, Sunshine?
Seeds that have been turning up everywhere.
Seeds?
From China. Yeah. People are getting it.
Go on.
We've had 100 of them. America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Europe have been getting parcels of seeds.
From who? From who's sending these mystery seeds? You can't
Wuhan,
say love China. Love Wuhan, China.
People who are ordering stuff like
online,
jewellery.
Yeah,
are receiving these as well.
So what? They're ordering stuff, and with the parcel, a few of these seeds are thrown in.
Not a few, fucking like a good couple.
To what extent? And does anybody know what it is?
No, they're saying if you get any of these seeds, anybody, do not plant them, whatever they are. We don't know what they are. They are black as fuck. They can't describe what it is. They don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like not just at first I heard it was in America. Like if farmers were getting these like shitloads of these seeds for nothing. So it was like, hold on, what's going on here? But then New Zealand, then Europe, then like England, and it's like, what's going on here? So it's a bit.
I'm pretty sure
strange.
Some botanist out there must have a fair idea what it is. I mean, it can't
we're
be.
Going to need from Wuhan.
I'm not fucking hell. Wuhan's bringing out. If it's like, is this the spawning place for all things new? Do you know what I mean? It's like, for fuck's sake. I mean, yeah, we've already had one new discovery from Wuhan. I'm not thrilled about another one. Do you know what I mean?
I know, is the Chinese up to something fucking else more here, or what? And it's like,
I don't know what the government knows, right? And they know something to the extent that they're pulling China, right, from everything, right? Huawei. We did an episode, the 5G controversy way back when. If you want to go and listen to it, we'll throw a link up. But the thing is, you know, this 5G, I mean, it's a bit... I mean, obviously, we talked about whether it had anything to do with Corona. I mean, there was a lot of people going out there doing arson attacks on fucking masts and shit like that. In fact, there was a website that was basically pinpoints, maps all the 5G towers in the UK. When Corona started, that got epic amounts of hits because people were using it as a map to go and destroy these towers. You know, I mean...
Do you agree with it or not?
Well, I'm not... I mean, I just think it's a bit of a coincidence that we've pulled it just right now. Yeah, right, with all this going on, and all of a sudden, we're not going to be participating. But there are other reasons. It's more political. It's more about trade secrets. It's about spying and espionage. It's not about whether this is causing a signal or anything like that. I do believe that's bollocks. I do think that the 5G signal has got nothing to do with the virus. I think it's probably just scaremongering and people putting two and two together, right?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also agree that I do think they are damaging. But I don't agree that it's a part of this pandemic.
The thing is, we bombard our bodies with so much radiation, and it's so low radiation. Do you know what? There's more strength in the sun's rays than 5G, and that's science. Science, son. Do you know what I mean? Now, you could argue with me. If you want to argue with me, leave us a comment. I will talk to you in the comments. But it's the only thing that makes me bug about it is the timing. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's people out there who are fucking, like, absolutely sold on this. Yeah, right? And I don't want to... I'm not disparaging you or, you know, like, saying you're wrong. It's what you believe what you want to believe. Do you know what I mean? But when these seeds are concerned, there's got to be a logical explanation. There's no way this is a new species. It almost seems like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where he goes out there planting his seed, and he's like, you know, trying to take over the world or spread something or what. I mean, Australia, look at Australia, you're not even allowed to take a banana into the country because it'll ruin their ecosystem. It's an invasion of their ecosystem. It's a very fragile system, and, you know, you introduce... Which I think there's a major flaw in this. There's a major flaw in this, right?
Why? Where are you saying the major flaw?
The fact that I could eat a trail mix, right? Get on a plane, right? Get off in fucking Australia, Seeds notoriously don't digest properly, right? And go and take a fat shit in a field somewhere, right? Job done, right? Yeah. That's totally. It. Yeah, there's a major flaw in the whole system, right? So, you know, but the fact is, there's got to be a botanist or someone out there who knows their shit when it comes to horticulture and seeds that would be able to identify this. There's the World Heritage Seed Library, for God's sake. If they don't know what it is, then is it a new...
It's been investigated, isn't it, now?
It seems like a lot of genetic experiments going on, regardless of what's going on.
It was very funny, though, that I haven't heard anything from... any South America, Africa, Russia, China, India. You know, I'm not hearing any packages of seeds have been sent over there. It just seems to be like the Western side, or like the Allies seem to be getting.
Oh, right. So it's literally everyone who they've had a bit of a beef with recently.
Hey, but you don't know. You know what I mean? A war can start at any time by any kind of means.
Well, I've got a story. A little bit more
happier.
Well, I don't know. It's happier for one. Oh, fucking I'll tell you, and you can work it out. So, a lad of 17, who wed a nana of 71, who we met at a funeral.
Oh my days!
Well, he reveals that she's had a heart attack. So, Amelia and Gary Hardwick tried to tie the knot back in 2015. But just 2 weeks after they basically first clapped eyes on each other at a funeral and decided to tie the knot. She's she's totally in love. Oh, mate. But basically, you know, her toy boy, he's basically a young chap, and he's married a 71-year-old gran. After meeting at
71, I thought you said 81.
71. They met at her son's funeral. But basically, he's revealed that she's had a serious heart attack. So basically, Gary from Tennessee was only 17 when he met her, and she was a widow back in 2015. Despite the massive 53-year age gap, the pair tied the knot 2 weeks later. Was she like loaded or something?
Sure, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is she a millionairess or something?
Something like that. Gary, mate, come on. Gary says that he was drawn to the nana's sparkling blue eyes, and he couldn't keep his eyes off him during the funeral. That's a bit kind of thingy as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like time and a place, mate. It's like,
well, yeah.
She's grieving there. She's lost a son, right?
Yeah, come with me, come here.
Yeah,
come and have a
this
drink,
young pup's like, I'm gonna nail her. Well, 5 years on, they're still loved up as ever, but despite, basically being diagnosed as high risk, has basically put her in lockdown. But she's basically, she's had she's had an heart attack. Bless her.
Okay, now.
Oh well,
but she must have had a good few years with him.
Well,
I suppose in one way you can say that she's going to have a happy life by the time she goes, and if he's happy with how he is, you know what I mean?
Well, it just makes me think: is he kind of like, is he one of these? I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Yeah. Well, it's the first thing you think of, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
money. How much money she got? What's she written in her will? Done.
Well,
yeah.
I've got this other story. We'll get moving on.
Yeah.
Another creep. A mysterious 15-foot-long sea beast washes up on UK beaches, leaving locals stunned.
I've seen a few of these now. It's
mate,
I bet it's...
You've just told me about a mad seed that no one's ever seen before. This creature, which has been dubbed the Ainsdale Anomaly. Ainsdale Beach, lovely beach, by the way. And I spent many days on that beach as a youngster. Now, do you know what? It's one of the only beaches in the UK that you can drive on.
Right.
And I actually, had a few lessons on that beach, how to do the gears and that,
Lost the car a couple of times, did you?
Happy times. No, it's one of them beaches that if you walk to the sea, because the tide is so far out,
Yeah.
Once you finally get to the shore, it's like you best get back quick because the tide comes in faster than you can make it back. It's quite dangerous, ain't it, in terms of like getting stuck out there.
Don't get stuck.
So the Ainsdale Anomaly was spotted on Merseyside beaches on Wednesday, and no one has a clue what it is. It does look a bit fucked up. Now, I reckon it's probably going to be like the remains of an animal, a dead walrus or something like that. But it's 15 feet long, and the sea beast that's basically washed up, they reckon it could even be a mammoth. Do you know the remains? The creature which has been dubbed as the Ainsdale Anomaly was spotted on Merseyside Beach on Wednesday. It's got people puzzled. It's a very bizarre one, man said. It's a mishmash of different things in one. It's 15 feet long with flippers. It's got furry bits. And obviously, nobody has a clue what it could be. But it does seem like a bit of a fucking... Do you know what it looks like? Talking about genetic modified shit. Yeah, it looks like a genetically modified creature that went wrong and they dumped it in the ocean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Things would have been nibbling at it, and it would have been, being washed, moved all the time, so bits would be falling off it, bits would be fucking added to it.
Well, plenty of people have got suggestions, but nobody could really identify it for sure. One local woman who filmed the strange creature said, it's been called the Ainsdale Anomaly, but my first assumption was that it was a whale of some kind. Like I say, I thought it might have been like a manatee or some sort of walrus or something.
Still could, because parts of a walrus from near the ocean. I mean, the ocean's never been this high, really.
Some other people are saying that it's a cow, and some other people are saying it's a horse. And honestly, no one has an idea. But the favourite theories are it's a woolly mammoth or a crash-landed alien.
Nah, I can't say it's an alien.
How do you know?
Because Men in Black would have been knocking on everyone's door by now, going, right, fuck, shut it.
Others are almost saying that it looks like an elephant too. So, It
might be. Elephants swim.
Could be. I'm like you die in the water and you start getting decayed and you just a part of it washes away. Who knows?
Yeah,
if you've got an idea or you want to tell us what you think it is, drop us a comment. We'd be interested to find out.
Yeah.
Have a look or if you actually saw it and you can kind of, or even if you want to shed a bit of light on it, you know where to get us.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Sunshine?
Actually, TikTok. The app, TikTok.
Actually, I know, TikTok's under a bit of scrutiny at the minute, going back to China, being a Chinese company.
Yeah.
TikTok, obviously, Trump, as I understand it, is now turning around and saying that he's within two minds about banning it, and he's trying to talk with them. Are they banning it tomorrow?
He could ban it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, he could. Of course he could. I mean, the fact is, though, it's like how... It's almost like, do you know, these countries where it's like they tell you what internet websites you're allowed on? Do you know what I mean? Where you've almost got like, nah, you're not allowed on that. And I mean, I understand that it's for national security, so there's reasons, but how long before this communist state is upon us, do you know, where it's like, we will tell you what to watch, we'll tell you what you can listen to, you tell you what to wear. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, these countries like Korea where you've got a fucking, select your haircut from a pre-approved list of haircuts, you know, these types of things. It's like it seems to be going slowly this way. And I mean, I'm not a TikTok user. I'm not asked about TikTok, but I know it brings joy to a lot of people. You know, is it because it's so popular that he's still not banned it?
No.
Is it?
No. I've
got myself a TikTok account.
Microsoft.
What?
Microsoft have been after it.
What, buying it?
Yeah, and if Microsoft buy it, well, then there's no point banning it, is there? Because then Trump gets all the information from the details from everything for free.
Well, yeah, generally it's just basic, but yeah, again, backdoors and shit like that. It's like the fact is,
you always got a backdoor.
What you need to do is, it's reinventing the wheel, isn't it? It's you taking away something that someone else has created, buy it off them, and then you develop it in the way you see fit.
And
now,
I'm
surprised Facebook's not been on it, to be honest, because obviously Facebook just dabble with every social media platform going.
Who's running Facebook now?
Zuckerberg, isn't it? Still?
Is it Google?
No, it's Facebook.
I thought they got bought out by someone.
No, Zuckerberg's not going to give up Facebook, is he?
No, true. Mind you, he was in when he was in trial with a couple of the other big ones.
They were talking. Yeah, I seen it. I didn't really pay attention. I think the guy's a bit
he was just telling him, "We're gonna if you don't take control of this, that, and the other, the government are gonna put extra stuff on you. You know, to be honest, you've got to do this, do that."
I thought I heard a rumor that you had a TikTok account. Somebody messaged me saying that they saw you flossing. Not flossing your teeth, doing the dance. Is that true? You not got a TikTok account?
No, someone caught me on it. I think it was my niece.
What?
My niece got a TikTok account, I think. She's probably filmed me.
I've not been on it. I've not looked at it. I don't want a TikTok.
About it.
I don't need a TikTok. And like I said the other day, when I was a lad, a TikTok was what you tell the time with. You know,
and TikTok is going to be soon gone.
Never
unless
mind.
Microsoft buy it out.
Well, from one mogul to another, Elon Musk is in the news this week. He's basically fucking talking shit again. Experts have hit back after the tech mogul tweeted about an alien conspiracy theory. So, you know, the guy knows he has a bit of an interest in this stuff.
He does.
But the entrepreneur has tweeted about the unproven theory that aliens built the pyramids in Egypt. What do you reckon?
Didn't build them.
No, he did. Yeah. So Egyptian experts have hit back at Elon Musk after the SpaceX founder tweeted about a conspiracy theory that aliens built the pyramids. Aliens built the pyramids, wrote Musk.
Yeah, I agree. There's more likely... Because you couldn't drop a brick down every 20 seconds. It worked out something like 2 minutes 6 to actually put a stone in and get everything all sorted. And it was like, what? How the fuck? From the bottom to the top? No, ain't going to happen. 22 years, you reckon it took?
They used massive whips. That's what they did.
Nah, it's fucking device, isn't it? From a UFO. Yeah, alien. Yeah, so it was like,
I happen to agree with Musk on this one. I'm not sure. I think there's something to do. The pyramids are a mystery. There is something a bit weird about the pyramids, and especially
there's a lot more to it than we think.
Well, especially since you've got all these cultures that supposedly didn't really communicate at a certain time in history, right? If what history we know is to be believed, whereas, well, it's a bit funny that these pyramids mirror all around the world in different locations, and they're all on the same star charts as, you know, like they marry up with a star in this constellation. You know, there's a bit too much of a coincidence there. There has got to be something. Now, obviously, you have Egyptian experts are having none of it. They're saying, you know, basically they tweeted again saying the Great Pyramids was the tallest structure ever made by humans for 3,800 years.
Tell me, what else does Egypt have, apart from the pyramids and all that, to bring public attention?
Well,
nothing else.
Well, no, he's just said it because it's just a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I think like the flippancy of it as well, like aliens were built by pyramids, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, well, fucking hell, Egyptologists, you've just got on your high horse about it. I mean, you didn't have to say anything, you know what I mean? You just go, fuck off, Elon, mate, you know what I mean? Go and fly another rocket.
Funny enough now, because more and more scientists are believing that there's likely to be something or some alien species living in another solar system on planets. They're actually coming across saying that now, going like, well, yeah, like last year, no chance, no one else lives anywhere. You got to have this, that, and the other, and all this shit.
I've just got to say this. I've just got to put this out, right? I can understand why these Egyptologists are a bit pissed, right? Because his initial tweet got like 500,000 people retweeting it and liking it and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty good going. Yeah. But is this sort of adding fuel to the misinformation? Now, scientists are still unsure how the Egyptian pyramids were actually constructed. So I mean, you can't say it's out of the realm of possibility. Do you know what I mean? If you can't tell me definitively how they were built, then you've got no business arguing the toss and saying that they weren't built by aliens because you don't know. Yeah, totally. The fact is, so like I say, scientists are still unsure about the Egyptian pyramids, how they were constructed before modern technology gave them the means to move a million stones without the use of a crane. This has helped fuel the unproven conspiracy theory that aliens had a hand in the construction. But you can't tell me that they didn't.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell me they did. So, you've got no business getting on your high horse
or the ifs
about it. It's like, until you can prove it definitively, then you've got to take a back seat. It's not like
you haven't had a long time to fucking prove it.
Take a back seat on it.
Where you actually documents to say, oh, right, this is how we did it. We did it by this, and this.
Well, they do go on to say that experts do say there's plenty of evidence that the pyramids were built by human hands.
Yeah, with a little bit of help.
It's just not clear how.
Aliens.
Yeah, and like I say, massive whips. Yeah. Anything else? Oh yeah, I've got this actually. What's it? TikTok influencer jailed over in Egypt over incident. Oh, just seeing the headline there, but I'm not going to read it. Fuck it. Because you said
I think TikTok. I know which one that's about. Is that the one where
TikTok?
Did you say Israel?
Egypt. He was an influencer.
Oh yeah, I think it was a gay woman seeing a gay band, but they're not allowed to show the flag, and she got on the shoulders and ended up showing the flag, and then her mate did, and they both got arrested for it.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, because they can't show the flag.
I was watching something the other day, and he was talking about the American flag and about how these rules about how you can use it, and if it's in an unfit state to put out there, you're not allowed to put it up. It's against the law to put up a tatty flag, right?
It's got to be clean.
Yeah, but you can't. You've got to destroy it in a dignified way, right? Yeah. So, but bear in mind, it's against the law to burn an American flag. Yeah, but if you go onto the website to find out how to dispose of an American flag, it says burn it. It's like, I feel like I'm going to get arrested here. Do you know what I mean? If that's true, that's what they're saying. The most dignified way of destroying it is, burning it. But but have you got to do a salute and a
Yeah, you got to have a 10-course band or something, and an actual
firing
hole
off
to bury it
a
in.
load of cannons and shit. But I mean,
Yeah.
if that's true, let me know because I'm interested at that. You know what I mean? It's like I think the thing is that you know,
I'd do with that. I'd send it to my neighbour. Yeah, that's your
let them deal with it.
Yeah, it's not my problem no more. There you go, mate.
Oh, just close the story. Oh no, that was a cute story as well. I kind of remembered the gist of it, but go on. Have you got something else you want to talk about?
I have. I don't know if it actually went on, but apparently there was a load of stink about Antifa and
Queen
how
Latifah at it again.
how they were going to burn down a police station, take over the city roads, and have snipers on top of the rooftop.
Mate, they shouldn't because at the moment Trump's got fucking.
You should send them fuckers in.
Well, mate,
Yeah.
Trump's got these guys out there, mate. They're driving unmarked vehicles, right? They're taking people off the street with no cause whatsoever. They're military police, right? They've not got name badges or anything, and they're just lobbing people in the back of vans and fucking driving off, taking them who knows where. Yeah, this
Unlawfully,
is not. That is
really.
that is unlawful. That is not fucking on. You shouldn't be doing that, Mr. Fucking Trump. Yeah. No. People have got
on to a certain degree.
No. People in the States, have got the right to free speech, right? It's in their constitution that they're allowed to say what the fuck they like, right?
Yeah.
But that seems not to be the case because history has shown us that people, for fucking since America was birthed, that if the authorities don't like what you're doing or saying, mate, you're getting unlawfully arrested, right? Now, I'm not saying that's like every fucking copper out there, but when you're, at the end of the day, mate, these guys aren't even turning around and saying that they're just following orders. They're turning around and saying, I'm following executive orders. So, therefore...
But these guys are walking around as a militia.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, and that's not right, mate.
And
at the end of the day, that definitely needs to be stopped. But that's been put in. That order's been put out by the fucking commander-in-chief. Yeah, because he wants to save face. Yeah, he doesn't want to see all this fucking shit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
My issue: take it off the street straight away. Get it off the streets. I don't want it. Yeah.
But
it's
the
not
mayor
right.
and that was the police knew about this. The mayor knew about it. They wrote it on their bloody statement saying this is what we're going to do this weekend. And there's fuck all you can do about it.
Yeah, well,
if you start about it, then I'm going to use my right to stop you.
Some people are being fucking detained with absolutely no cause whatsoever, and it's shocking. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like,
it's a Malone thing, isn't it? It's the Bugsy Malone thing.
It's more of the case that, we're going to strip you of more and more of your freedoms until you got fuck all left. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If they can't catch you,
you're no longer living in a free country. You're living in a fucking.
We've never lived in a free country.
No, I'm not talking about us. Yeah, we know where we stand. Yeah, but what I'm saying is them in the States. I know, but it's an illusion of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got an illusion of freedom
than us.
It's like fucking Rick and Morty, right? When the episode when he shows him the car battery and he's saying, "Oh, it's a tiny verse in the miniverse," and all the rest
then goes
of it.
into another one, then goes into another one.
And what does he say? He says, "You've created a society to run your car, right? Yeah. So therefore, all these people are going around doing duties and doing the business and fucking like doing what they think they should be doing for the community, all to provide him with power for his vehicle, right? It's slavery with a few extra steps, yeah, right? What the fuck do you think society is? We live in that now. I mean, we all get told to go out to work, to do your business, pay your taxes, because if you don't, you're out on the streets, you're out on your ear, and you won't have a nice life, right?
Keep you busy
You're
all
caught
the time.
up in the system where you are basically saying that you play ball or you're fucked, basically. And if you want to be fucked and live on the streets like an animal, and have nothing, then sweet. But if you want to play the game, and pay your way, right, we'll make sure that you just have enough to survive on. But effectively, you're in the slave system, right?
Yeah. Well, this is why I was saying about the registration of your birth certificate. And when they got rid of slavery, it wasn't they didn't get rid of slavery. They put everyone in the same category.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Black society have had it rough and
well, a
so
lot of other
all the
cultures.
others.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying these. At the end of the day, yeah, the white community have had the easier side of it, which isn't right. There's a lot of different cultures that have been kind of fucking penalised and taken down for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up.
That was then, and things have changed a lot since then.
Of course they have, but not enough. Not enough.
They're
by
still
a long
not
way.
enough, and it still seems that our rights.
The thing is nowadays,
met and neither's anyone else's.
Well, the thing is, there's that illusion. There's that illusion of freedom. There's that illusion of you can do what you want. When in reality, you can't really. Do you know what I mean? But that's another story. And I think we're going to be doing an episode in the coming future, which will go down a few of these roads, a bit more detail. I've got one more story, I think, and then NASA news. Just bear with me. In fact, I've got two more stories. A kitten, which is a little shit. Yeah, this little cat had to be rescued from a what's it? From a what's it? From three cars in one day. Because they get everywhere. This little kitten's gone on an adventure. Yeah, it's a Disney movie in making this. Right, the little kitten's gone on a little adventure. It got trapped in a car, had to be rescued by fire and rescue services. Right, not hours later, same thing happened, and then the evening, again, same thing happened. This cat's got a fucking they're trying to hotwire a car and get out of Dodge. Oh,
fucking 9 lives nearly up.
No idea. It's already used 3 of them panicking in cars. You know what I mean? But I lost a story. I closed it by accident, but I just thought it was cute. But other than that, that's me. I've got some NASA news. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
Yeah, they're starting now to talk about wearing glasses.
Someone needs to go to Specsavers.
I have been saying this right from the fucking
I thought
start.
that was my favourite line in Umbrella Academy all week. It was when one of the characters turns around to her daughter and says, when she was talking about a love interest, and she says, "Your vagina needs glasses." That was a quality line. So go on. We're all going to have to wear glasses for what end?
Yeah, they're looking now because of what I was saying, like the spray. Because wherever you are now, look around you and see how many people have actually got no mask on.
I was going to say,
I guarantee there are going to be a few people.
Mate,
around
I
you
went
with
to
no
the
mask.
shop. I went to the shop the other day, right, and I was appalled, right, because literally everyone in the shop wasn't wearing a mask. I asked the shopkeeper. I said, "Do you not, you're not imposing the law in here or not?" I was wearing a mask, yeah, and he just went, "No one seems to be bothered," and it was like, not being funny, but I mean, it can't be forced. It can't be enforced, but it's a law. It makes me laugh that obviously we have to wear masks. Yeah, right. And I think we should. It's obviously. I've told you why I think it's a good idea.
Wear glasses.
No, but the thing is, it was like I was explaining to you, right? So the glasses thing, yeah, of course, because you can get it through your eyes. Yeah, right. So they say, but the idea behind wearing a mask is that there's no projectile spray that comes from your eyes, yeah, apart from a bit of tears or a bit of whatever, a bit of fucking, I don't know, you could rub your eyes, I suppose, if you've not washed your hands or used hand sanitizer, but there's far less risk because you're wearing a mask, yeah? You're talking to me, you're telling me a joke, you got a mask on, when it comes to that laughing moment, we laugh out loud, you're not spraying any particles at me because you got your mask on. Therefore, it's not going to be likely to get into my eyes. Yeah. So the mask is a good idea. It does protect you. I think that, even just down to the fact that even if you feel that you don't need it and you're a healthy person, don't think about yourself. It's not about you. It's about your relatives. It's about your gran. It's about your Auntie Pat. It's about your fucking, uncle who's got an heart condition. It's these people
your neighbour, the person who's gone down the shop.
Who are vulnerable, and you might be fine. You might go out for a pint and think everything's hunky dory, and you feel fine the next day. But you're asymptomatic or whatever, and next minute your gran's got corona. Right? Don't fucking do it. Just stick a mask on. I don't understand why there's so many people who say I'm exempt. And this is what people are using in the shops. Yeah, of course there is, yeah. But these people in the shops, when the shopkeeper's turning around and saying, why haven't you got a mask on? They go, my card's in the post. Yeah, like that's an excuse. That's like my tax disc's in the post excuse. Another one I saw on the news, load of girls out in Manchester on a night out, right? Reporter comes over to them and says, I thought, you're not supposed to... One of them says, we're all staying in the same house the last couple of days. And the reporter said...
So you can house Friday.
You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be in other people's houses. And automatically, the lies came out. No, we all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lived together for ages. And it's like, fuck off. You've had a few beers and you're trying to bullshit now because you got caught out. The fact that you've all staying in the same house, yeah, because you want to go out on the piss. Yeah. Yeah. Right? That's it. Bottom line.
I only fucking regret it when someone close to him.
And it winds me up. Yeah, I'm going to go into a bit of a... Do you know...
You know what really grinds my gears?
Right? Yeah, the fact is that you've got the government coming out and saying, places that you are definitely likely to catch corona is in your mum's house, yeah, or around your mate's house, yeah. But 30 of you could pop off to the pub, yeah, and have a jolly up, right? But you can't take your kids swimming, or you can't go fucking it. You can't do that. The fact is, it's so fucking... it's bamboozling. It's confusing. I can't get my head round where this logic lies. Where does this logic lie? Well, I'll tell you fucking three names right away. Chris Whittaker, Boris Johnson, fucking Matt Hancock, right? Those three fucking guys couldn't find fucking their ass with both hands, right? At the moment. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but fucking... but we're getting mixed messages. We're getting mixed messages to the point where the public have gone, fuck it, can't be arsed, don't even care.
It's easy for us to turn around and say that. Well, we're not in a position where they've got all the paper, all the information in front of them that they have at this time, and they can't work out how to deal with it. But of course. It's the same with all the countries.
Yeah, I know, but a couple of weeks ago, they were so confident about it, right? And now all of a sudden, it's like, shit your pants time. Oh, no. So,
because if the day it started, they walked out and went, right, fucking hell, the shit's going to hit the fan now, boom, boom. The money economy would have gone down.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
The economy
about the economy. It's nothing to do with the public health at all. It's about bringing the money in, making businesses run, getting the country going again.
Health, but not a lot.
But that's it. It's like they've sat in an office somewhere, in a meeting somewhere, and went, what is the cost of a human life? Yeah, right. And whether they can afford to reopen the country without, with minimal damage, right? And it seems like they've misjudged it. They opened up way too soon, yeah? The priorities are way out of whack because they know that pubs generate a lot of VAT money for the government, yeah? Right? Yeah. So they're all right to open and you can go and fucking go to a pub, yeah? No problems. But can't send your kids to school, can't visit your relatives. It just all seems a bit fucking backwards. And as a member of the public... right? I think we deserve a bit more clarity on it. That's just me.
A bit more respect on that front.
Do you know what I mean? And a bit more kind of like a bit more notice when these things are going to happen. And obviously, Eid this year and the Muslim community, their celebrations have been cancelled. And that's tantamount cancelling Christmas.
Even come out
cancelling Christmas on Christmas Eve.
To stop that.
Well, potentially.
And it's like now you've started some shit off because of this incident.
Well, it is like cancelling Christmas Eve.
Everyone else.
I mean, and a couple of months down the line, and I'm sorry to say, it could happen. Do you know what I mean? And it's getting to that point.
I personally thought we needed to close till September.
Yeah, definitely.
We need to close everything until September, and then when everything is calmed down, not just like below the 1 month.
No, it needed to be fucking low.
It was nearly gone. Yeah. But no, they had to think of. Oh well, we need money coming in. Yeah, you're the government. You can go out and borrow fucking 20-odd billion pounds, bring it back, and only pay 1% interest. If we went out and went to the bank and asked for 20 grand, we'd be probably hit with like a 5 grand fucking interest.
Of course we would.
So it's cheaper for them to go out and do that. Because now the money that's come in, he's going to need to spend it on infrastructure. He's going to have to put the infrastructure in now for us to work as a sole economy, so we can try and support ourselves a bit more. Instead of, because that's the whole thing, especially with this sovereignty business. Every country, the first thing it needs to do, and the Prime Minister's first job, is to secure the people. And
power to the people.
Defend the country. You defend your country to your hill, and then you put your infrastructure in to support yourself, and then you go out to other countries and go, oh well, we can do a bit of business for you, blah blah blah. We can do a bit of this. You know what I mean? Instead of just going, right, there's a bit. I'm going to get a big chunk of fucking money out of this. I'm grabbing that.
We should be running the country anyway. Right, we're gonna have to move on. We've got some NASA news. Before we jet. In fact, no, we've got a lot more to get through. We don't understand the amount of shout-outs and questions. We've got some questions. Listener questions today. I
got a couple of funny one as well. Go
on.
I had the Wookiee.
Wano Wookiee. Go on.
Well, there's a woman who kept getting phone calls, people doing Wookiee noises.
I can't do it. I'll be honest, there's two things I can't do, right? I can't make a Wookiee noise, and I can't roll my R's, and that winds me up, man. I really want to be able to go.
Practice.
Can't do it.
There you go. Well, it's a start, isn't it?
Summit.
Yeah.
I can do R2D2 and C3PO. Beep, 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 beep. There you go. Smashed it.
So you got too much time on your hands, man.
Oh, at the minute, 100%. Yeah, furlough life represent. Anyway, so go on. What she was doing?
She was getting these phone calls, and at first she thought it was funny. She thought it was hilarious. But then it was starting to get on her fucking nerves, because it was like thousands of phone calls a day, and it's
she shouldn't have put a phone number out there.
Well, yeah, but then she found out.
Do you know what? It's like, I'm going to give my phone number to the world and say, ring me up with Wookiee noises. What a fucking stupid thing to do.
It ended up being her ex-husband after 2 months.
Was it her ex-husband?
He did a competition. Whoever could do the best Wookiee noise, just ring him up, do the Wookiee noise and put the phone down.
So she didn't realise that she didn't set the competition up. She just was experiencing she was a victim of Wookiee abuse.
Wookiee abuse, man. You wouldn't have believed it, would you?
Wookiee buggers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't have to get around.
Oh man.
Planet jumpers, isn't it?
That's what a twat. She must have saw the funny side of it, but how long was this going on for?
Well, she did it 2 months.
Jesus.
After 2 weeks, she was like, oh, right, this is getting fucking ridiculous now. But it was like, hey, could have been worse. Could have been written on the bog door saying
if you want a good time, call fucking number. Yeah. Totally. Or you should just get loads of phone calls going.
I've heard that before as well.
What are you wearing?
Do that.
What are you wearing? Have you got pants on?
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah. I couldn't do that. That's. Do you know what? I started feeling a bit hoarse in the throat just doing that. Then. Sorry, listeners. Well,
it's not.
It's been an interesting day for SpaceX.
It has. Yes.
Yeah. Successful Crew Dragon successfully turned to Earth and crashed down today.
Nice one, lads.
Yeah, so
good
SpaceX
splash.
and NASA have made history once again, successfully completing the crucial final stage of the Demo 2 missile for Crew Dragon spacecraft. SpaceX is first spacecraft made a human flight. This marks the end of the latest demonstration mission. So it's all about doing it now. They've proven they can.
Sweetly in Gulf of Mexico, I think it
Concept
is. Just off the
proved.
of Florida.
Well, SpaceX's Crew Dragon appears to have performed exceedingly well throughout the mission, from launch to docking with the ISS, undocking,
back contact with aliens,
doing a bit of undocking, bit of space docking, and then reorbiting and splashdown. The fully automated process was kept the astronauts safe and secure throughout. So no room for error. It's super, what's it? Computer programmed.
Yeah, have you seen the inside?
Yeah, it looks like fucking.
Inside.
I was about to say it looks like NASA up there.
It looks like.
I told you that Crew Dragon spaceship is how spaceships should look. You know, back in the day, they looked a bit haphazard. They didn't look very secure. They just looked a bit flimsy, if you get me. Do you know what I mean? You know, whereas now,
mistake, I would have thought.
I think they do look, and I think the spacesuits. I mentioned this. The spacesuits they were donned in,
nice and thin,
very nice. They looked very 2001: A Space Odyssey. Well, this is a final stage, including the recovery. And it splashed down in the sea, in the Gulf of Mexico. So let's go and retrieve that bad boy, get back onto the next stage. So videos of it being lifted out of the water back onto the ship are online. You can check those out.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, boys! Space Mars, and next stop Mars.
Yeah, I can't wait for a cheap ticket.
Have you heard anything in the world of spacey NASA stuff this week? I've got a few stories.
Mars has got his little cloud.
Well, you know what they say, don't they? A Mars cloud a day helps you work, rest, and play.
It does. But making scientists ask the question again of like, what the fuck is it? What the fuck's this cloud? Because it looks like, you know, from a volcano eruption. It's a line.
Right. It
looks
be.
like one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that it could be actually, because if you think about it, they haven't ruled out the fact that there could be some sort of activity going on underneath Mars, and even potential of an underground ocean. So the idea that there could be volcanoes. In fact, I think they've actually proven that there is volcanoes on Mars.
Yeah,
you know,
but they haven't proved if they're active or not, though. That's the thing.
This could be a sign.
Yeah, this seems to be a sign. I mean, it's not the first time it's happened. There's a couple of times now it's happened. And now also, and don't forget, you're getting these massive dust storms. Not that long ago, I think it was only about 2 months ago, we had a massive dust storm that covered it. So there is still activity somewhat going on there. But the question is, what and how much could we stand? I mean, you know what I mean? Because winds can go up to 300 mile an hour winds.
Yeah. Well, this is it. It's all kind of new, isn't it? I mean, they don't know what to expect, and this is what's. I mean, imagine
it's exciting.
It's exciting, but imagine being that first crew to land on Mars and being able. You know, you're there for the duration now. You're up there on Mars. You've got what you've brought with you, and you've got to survive this fucking barren, harsh conditions with literally. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen? And you don't know if, like, where you parked up, an earthquake or an asteroid... Not an asteroid, what am I talking about? A volcano goes off or anything, you know. It's a very,
that's
very
another announcement.
Very touch-and-go sort of heart-pounding moments, really, when it does come to the time.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer. And they want it by the next 4 years, don't they, really?
Yeah,
so
definitely 2024.
Yeah, so that's really, really close. And at the same time now we have, I think, China, I think it's Israel, I can't be 100%, Israel and America now have all sent drones to go to Mars. So there's 3 of them on the way there right now, and I think China's is going to hit there first.
Fairy doos. Well, I've got, where am I now? I've got a story here about UFO frenzy. A rare phenomenon above China has sparked doomsday claims. So, that's all it kind of wants to give me, though. So basically, basically, sightings over a major Chinese city has sparked UFO claims. Basically, it looks like a shitloads of lights in the sky. Now, it's a bit of a weird one because it does look a bit like... Do you know when you see photos of a galaxy? Yeah. And it's like you see kind of like bright spots and you can kind of make out that that's a star and that's this and that's that. It kind of looks like a galaxy's been pulled into focus in the sky. Yeah. It just looks really weird. And they're saying it's a rare phenomenon, weather and all the rest of it. But they're obviously UFO people and conspiracy theorists are kind of trying to say that it could be something else, and it sparked obviously a bit more debate. Just trying to get a bit more information on it. Bear with me. But in the meantime, I've got this. Oh, we are. So, mysterious sighting over Wuhan. No, I'm joking. Mysterious sightings over. Do you know what? Right, I'm not being funny.
You're not too far from there.
It was the fact that the story starts with above a major Chinese city. Doesn't really say, but by saying major, it could. Yeah, we don't want to say it. Yeah, but,
Shanghai, yeah.
I think they would tell you it was actually above Shenzhen or Shenzhou. I'm really bad with pronunciation. I should fucking get a coach or something. But basically, it sparked a UFO panic and over social media. And basically, social media started to melt down after footage of strange lights hovering in the sky were recorded by millions of viewers. Footage of a mysterious UFO in the night sky over Shenzhou. I think it's Shenzhen.
Shenzhen, I think
has recorded Shenzhen. More than 4 million views worldwide.
You know.
So it's a bit of an anomaly.
Yeah,
it's basically a cluster of lights beaming across the city sky, and viewers have seen the footage, thought it was remarkable, and remarked that it could be UFOs. The huge cluster of lights were said to be resembling of illuminating UFOs in the night sky above the southern metropolis.
See,
so
I'm just thinking of some things that have about the UFOs lately, and how they can make it look like, like a mothership. They can make it look like that there's nothing there.
Oh, cool! Like what? Like
stars, but then they can twist stuff around in the image.
Well, according to the Shenzhen Evening Post, locals noted that the strange lights formation around a partially cloudy night sky. So even though you could see something, it was kind of cloaked behind clouds, which made it a bit more eerie and ominous, to be honest. Basically, onlookers looked up stunned. They could hardly say anything. They was basically looking up to see UFOs in the sky. Other residents rushed to share the videos and images online after capturing the mysterious objects, which has obviously caused a bit of a to-do on the internet. I'll tweet that in a bit. I'll post a video.
I want to see that.
Meanwhile, eyewitnesses have filmed a white UFO flying over the trees in Tennessee this week. What?
I think I've heard this one.
So, eyewitness captured an alleged UFO sighting over Tennessee. They claim to have spotted a white-coloured UFO above the tree line after viewing a clip of the UFO. Experts believe the object is alien.
Right.
Yeah, they don't... Well, as in, it's unidentified. The video of the alleged UFO was posted on YouTube by Alan Barra. According to details of the short clip, the video was taken in the city of Whitewell, Tennessee. So, bit of activity going on at the moment.
Quite a bit.
One last UFO sighting this week. NASA cameras zoom in and find a donut-shaped UFO hovering near the ISS. Another one. This one's donut, though. Donut.
Oh, no, I've got a video upstairs of loads of UFO footage from when NASA was up there with, like, massive donut kind of fucking
This is like the polo of the UFO community.
Yeah.
It's the UFO with a hole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But there's, like, loads of them are straight
it's
or,
funny,
like,
though, because
circled. There's also...
It actually looks like a luminescent, like it's like glowing a little bit purple. It's just a purple donut light in the sky. Hovering near the ISS. They've managed to zoom in and got quite a clear picture of it. It's pretty cool.
It's we're allowed to do that, because it's usually, right, turn your cameras off.
Of course,
right,
yeah. Well, that's the ISS
away.
all over, isn't it? But they reckon it could be a flare or ice crystals on the lens that's caused it. It could be. There are these things that happen. You can't rule it out. Scott C. Waring.
What's he wearing?
Scott Waring, our mate Scott, is basically, he's always finding these truly outlandish claims, such as, fucking badges on Mars, and he's basically saying that the object was caught on the ISS feed, and he's decided to share it on his YouTube channel, the ET Database, which not sure. I've not really checked out much of his stuff, but I do say Scott has been cropping up a lot of weeks. If you want to come on the show, Scott, give us a shout. We'll find out if you're legit or not.
Well, there's another story about there's an image of the sun that was brought up by NASA, and obviously again they've taken out a piece. There's a square block in there, and there's yet again loads of arguments on what is it, why, what is that issue?
It's a roadblock.
Well, no, they say it's data that's been corrupt. But it is such a big area of data that it can't be all corrupt. There is something being behind it.
Well, no, because you can even these artifacts in photography. Yeah, you can. These experts out there who can tell you what these artifacts are to the detail. Yeah, these several different types of photographic artifact. Now, anyone worth the salt in the industry would be able to tell you if that was it was legitimately captured or it was an artifact in sort of data.
Problem with the data,
and it's corrupt. Yeah. So they'd be able to know that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but one of the main issues was if it was corrupt, it wouldn't have that much data corrupt.
Then the problem
it
would
only have bits of the data corruption. It's all of it.
Ah, right, okay. So you see, the problem is with like lens flares and ice crystals and such is they are legitimately captured in the in the shot. Yeah. So determine whether it's an artifact or an actual thing that's been captured, like a light or a light leak or a flare or a glare or a crystal that's magnifying or a bug on the lens. Yeah, is a difference. Do you know what I mean? You can assume what it is, yeah, or say that's most likely to be, but you can't really put it down as an artifact because it's in the shot. Now, I don't know. I mean, you could argue that, but
there's a lot to say that it's another thing that they've basically digitally taken out deliberately. And,
again,
there's a lot of experts to say that, and it's been going for so long.
The thing is, with images as well, there's a thing, metadata that exists within an image, like when if it's edited or or any sort of
manipulation,
you should be able to tell it that that's not the original image. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if somebody handed me that image and said that's the image, I'd say, well, how come this was taken or edited or manipulated previous to the image being taken? Can you not give me the original image? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's the news this week. Have you got anything else you'd like to put out there, or is that us done? Because I think we've got a bit of stuff to cover, a bit of featured podcast shout outs and the like before we call it a night. It's getting late.
I like to do a shout out to Techno Fog on Twitter.
Right.
Because Ghislaine Maxwell's basically legal documents have been opened, he's gone right through it. So he's bringing up the bits that would interest people instead of all the bullshit behind it.
Okay.
Which lawyers actually stating that they don't want it open because video is going to have to be taken into court. Some statements that she doesn't want people to see and stuff like that is going to make bad reputation on her. And it's like, because that's going to be the evidence to actually send you in the other motherfuckers down.
It's funny, isn't it? Because, I found it strange that he was like, Trump was a bit kind of like, oh, no, I know Elaine, she's a nice woman, but the other guys...
Apparently, he was a grass on that.
Well, he said on live TV that he knows her and all the rest of it. But the fact was, as soon as Epstein was kind of implemented into all this stuff, he denied any knowledge and everything. Do you know what I mean? But straight away, oh no, she's cool. Do you know what I mean?
Well, apparently, he was supposed to have been given information about him.
Oh, right,
because he didn't know anything about him or where his money was coming from and that, and apparently he was a snitch. apparently.
Who was?
But Trump
Oh,
to CIA about him and that. Yeah, because they've been under investigation for years, man, and like nothing's been done because behind the scenes has been the crooks. You know what I mean? So they ain't been able to push it along. And actually, a good week for trafficking people and that.
Oh, it's been a good week. We shifted 25 units.
30,000 paedophiles were arrested in Germany and Holland over the last couple of days.
Was the guy related to the Madeleine McCann incident arrested?
That's where I think some of the info's come from, and a lot more of it's come from actual Donald Trump's side, because he's had a massive, a massive hand in stopping this shit.
Fair enough.
He's been going all out.
Well,
praise the man for that.
Must stop you there because we are running out of time. But firstly, I wanted to say a big thank you to our featured podcast this week, Lady Justice, the weekly true crime podcast that takes a look at the fascinating cases, both past and present. You can check her out on all the podcast platforms you like. And I think we've got a promo here, so here it is.
Hello, my lovelies. My name is Chantel, and I'm the host over at Lady Justice True Crime. Lady Justice is a weekly podcast that covers fascinating cases, both past and present, from around the UK and Ireland. Some of them are strange, many are unbelievable, all of them are completely unique and are someone's story. So please come join me on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks, Lady Justice, for getting involved and being our featured podcast this week. She covers a lot of really cool topics. I check out. She's got a series on at the moment. She's got some top promos going. So get over to Twitter. You'll be able to find a link there. Lady Justice. Cheers, love. Thanks for being involved. We've got some shout outs this today.
We are.
Whopping shout-outs.
Yeah.
If you want to become a Patreon and get your name read at the top of the list. Now, I've broke shout-outs down today because we've had so many. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't we have questions as well?
We've got some questions and shout-outs today. Now, I've had to break
And I still haven't even thinking about the answer to your riddle.
Oh, yeah, the riddle. Have you got the answer?
No, because I've been more concentrating on this.
Right, okay. Well, we'll do the riddle first.
Do
the riddle first, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you've not clocked this one already. Right. So, I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?
Breeze.
No, unfortunately not. No, an echo.
Well, nearly there.
Nearly there. Yeah, well, if you got it, let us know, you smart ass.
Yeah, I just haven't been thinking about it. I've been
true that actually. We've been too busy talking about the show. I almost forgot.
Like
I almost forgot we even had a riddle. I'll be honest.
I didn't.
And I need a Jimmy riddle. So, like I say, I've had to break down the podcast, the shout outs into 3 sections today.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we've got the big boys at the top. Big boys and girls. Our Patreons. We couldn't do it without you. And if you want to become a Patreon and get at the top of the list, you know what to do. Go over to patreon.com/neverastraightanswer. And we've got a shout out to Big J.
Yes, Big J.
Dunk. Thank you for all your support and everything you do, bro. You're an absolute fucking stud and a legend. Big shout out to Jessie G, all the way from Minnesota. I hope you're doing all right. She's having a bit of a I don't know.
Well, America's having a rough time at the moment.
I think she's all right. She's just one of them days occasionally, but I don't know. We can sort it out. Big shout out to you, love. You're an absolute star. Big shout out to Swoosh.
Yes,
our
Swoosh.
First Patreon ever. You're an absolute fucking Elvis-looking motherfucker. We love you bits to bits, mate. You're an absolute star. I'm losing my voice and I can't even talk. Hey!
Yeah.
And a big shout out to our newest Patreon, Chantel W. I'm not going to give you second names
Chantel.
out, but thank you so much for all your support, Chantel. Really appreciate it. And here's your shout out. Well done. Now, hollers. We've got some hollers today, and these are the hollers. These are people
I've got some birthdays as well.
Have you? We'll get to that. Well, big shout out to Harriet C for just being a star on Twitter. Harriet's making us summit for our 100th episode. So
can't wait to see it.
Nice one for that. Big shout out to Gareth. Keep on trucking, fella. You're an absolute nice to see you back on Twitter, and we'll catch up soon. Another big shout out to Big Papa, Mr. Crabtree. It's been a long time, Badoosh.
Go on, chill.
Hey, we'll speak to you soon. Also, big shout out to our YouTube fucking supporter, the Duke of Marmalade. You know him. He's Brian.
Yes,
well done, mate. Thanks for listening. Big shout out to Jimmy Evans, who's retweeted. Who's just basically shouted out NASA podcast every day. All he does is says, NASA, listen.
Appreciate it, man.
Love it. Thanks very much. Big shout out to Shawnee and Chris for all the fucking support. Big shout out to Agent Coulson, who have not seen for ages.
Yeah, I've spoken in ages, man. Yeah. Got him a bell.
We told him he should come on the show one day and talk about aliens and stuff. Big shout out to Louise Hammond, because I've not mentioned Louise for a while, but big shout out to you. Big shout out to Mikey.
Mikey, yeah, he would have been on the show if I was there tonight.
He would have been on the show if I wouldn't have been here. Big shout out to Arden. From the Deep in History podcast, just because you're
man.
And we had a question from a big shout out to Jez as well, because we had a question from Jez.
Yeah, man.
He asked,
I haven't seen him in a while.
is there any chance we could get Bob Lazar on the show?
I will try.
That's all
I can say. I can try, but you know, I need more people out there to send information to him to give us a call.
Excellent. We got some podcast shout outs. These are pods we recommend you check out. So we've got the 10ish podcast, Deep in History, and we've got a lot, so I'm going to speed through these. Deep in History podcast, Not So Minnesota, nice podcast with Jess and Jen. Pod Askew podcast, Stay in Scarlet. Listen with Curtis E. Elton. The Bacon Games podcast. Be a Nostalgic.
I will, thank you.
Who said, pick me.
No,
For Nerds by Nerds, who have a question for us, which I'll ask in a minute. The Always and Forever podcast. Fading Memories podcast. The Geekdom Fancast. And Culture Quest. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Also, so like I say, we've got some questions. So, For Nerds by Nerds ask, what horror movie do you think you could survive?
All of them.
All of them? You fucking hero.
They're basically stupid because you walk in as four, you split up
and go upstairs. Don't go upstairs.
You split up into ones and you expect to walk out of there. Please.
Stay say.
And fuck off or defend it.
I'd probably. Did you ever see that movie, The Faculty? I'd survive that because it was just one blonde girl who turned into a monster. All you got to do is fucking get away from the school, body snatcher, and then if you're on fucking any sort of amphetamines, you're all right.
Well, if you're on them.
Yeah, well, you just make sure you are. And then, I'm not sure.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street, I suppose.
Horror movies. Oh, I don't know, because he's got you when you're vulnerable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but as you found out as the story goes along, you've got the power as well. And if you're too scared of him in your dreams, then you're obviously going to lose. So you're going to have to crunch up the courage to go, you know what? I got an axe in my hand. I got fucking Uzi in this one. Come on, boy.
I think we'd survive most of them because they'd probably end up running away from us.
Yeah.
I reckon so. So thanks for the question, For Nerds by Nerds. I hope we've answered that to the best of our abilities. We've got one last question from Killer Rabbit.
Yes, Killer
Rabbit Pod.
Yeah,
if you've not checked them out, go and check them out. They're so entertaining. Our fucking boys from Yorkshire side, and I know they're over the other side, but you can't hold that against them. They're fucking
go on, Yorkshire.
Good lads. They've had a bit of a break, but they're back back in action, out of the warren, onto your fucking podcast device. They've asked
so
us...
At least you could have a little listen.
They've asked, did Noah take termites on his boat?
Yeah, the whole boat was full of them, weren't they, by the end of it?
Well, I reckon, yeah, but they'd have to be very well behaved. Because, if you think about it, it's almost like that question... Nah, think about it. Your termites, yeah, right? General animals. You've got a fucking... If all right,
insect, isn't it?
Firstly, we're going to assume that the whole Noah's Ark thing is legit, right? Big assumption straight out of the boat, right? Out of the boat, right? So out of the gate.
Into the water.
Into the ocean, right? So, the bigger question is, did the lions eat the antelope and all the rest of it? Now, you're going to have to assume no, yeah, because these animals have been selected by God. Another assumption.
Supposedly,
yeah, another big assumption to say that they are the best of the best, deserved to be on that boat with the conditions that they've got to fucking... Look, they're here to save your life, mate, so you've got to fucking be good. Yeah, you want on the boat, you've got to not eat anyone, yeah, right? Therefore, if you're a termite, you've got it in your head that, I can't really eat the boat, this is the thing that's saving us, right?
What? Of course.
Well,
how many 40 days, 40 nights? Bang! Oh,
well,
right,
like
I've
I
only
said,
had a little bit of this, would it?
I think Eddie Izzard had it right. He came out with, like, basically, there's a big flaw in the whole Noah's Ark fucking mythology, because anything that swam or flew got away scot-free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, fucking hell, we have to take off 2 by 2 of all these animals because there's going to be a big flood, yeah, and God's wiping the slate clean, but he wants to save a little bit of what's going on, yeah? But if you're a fish or a bird, that doesn't apply to you, yeah?
No, because there are only some birds, you can only fly for so long, and you could only land on the water, and what do you think sharks are going to eat?
Just land on the boat.
Some animals are going to
Just land on the boat, man. They land on backs of whales. They land wherever. Do you know what I mean?
Have you seen a crowd of fucking birds? There's shit around the place. Fuck me.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But at the end of the day, I mean, not all of them are going to survive. But there's going to be more than 2 of each, isn't? That's my point.
Well, yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
in terms they won't be able to land all onto the sea.
No, but they could all land, like, they could take it in shifts on landing on the boat for an hour.
Oh, right, yeah, I'll go land on there, yeah. Yeah, Georgie's going to come. Right, I'm going to fly off. Do me over 10 hours, and then I'll pop home and you move.
Timeshare, exactly. Yeah. Well, in the answer to your question, I think all the animals would have had to sign a non-disclosure, like an agreement, or sign some.
Well, clause.
Yeah, they had to sign a Noah's Ark clause. Yeah, right. To say whether they're allowed on the boat.
We're sundering on this.
And stipulations involved in signing the clause would be. Don't eat the other boat. Don't eat the boat. Don't wreck the boat. Don't eat any of the other animals. Yeah, there is. Termites eat wood. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, right. The reason why there isn't an issue is because how many go on of each animal? 2. Yeah. So you put 2 in. Yeah. You've got a little bit of wood left over from fucking last week.
Oh, you let them have that? Yeah.
Put it in the corner. There you go. Put 2 of them on there. Leave them in the corner. They'll be all right for fucking years. Never mind fucking months.
Yeah. They're not going to go through a full boat, are they? Legit.
Yeah, so the boat's going to be absolutely fine. It's all the shit that the animals are going to be pouring out and all the piss. And now you're going to clean all that shit
up.
Well,
that's why Noah got to take his whole family with him. They've got a job on, haven't they? There you go.
True. Yeah, I think he was a bit understaffed, to be honest.
Bloody hell. Right, well, moving on. I think we're so running out of time. And this has been such a long episode. If you've got all the way to the end, we do appreciate it. And if you did get all the way to the end, drop us a comment saying the word.
I got birthdays.
Oh, go on.
I'd like to say happy birthday, Stephen Salisbury.
Stephen Salisbury.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. All right, if you've got this far in the show, drop Steve in Salisbury an happy birthday message on our Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. And Mr. Roger Watson. Happy birthday, son.
Stephen Roger, happy birthday.
Yeah, that's why he said Stephen Roger. No, Stephen and Roger.
Stephen and Roger, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday to both of you.
Happy birthday, lads. Have a good one. Hope you have a fucking wonderful time. Who else's birthday it was? It was Jessie G's birthday the other day. Big happy birthday to Jessie. Hope you had a really good day. She told me she wasn't celebrating much, but, you know, I hope you did manage to do something special for your birthday.
At least get a drink down you or something.
Yeah, that's probably why she was a bit fucking down, maybe. I don't know. Happy birthday, girl. Cheer the fuck up, yeah? All right, wicked. All right, well, like I say, end of the show. Thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions or you want to get in touch or give us a comment about anything we've talked about on the show tonight, which has been a fucking lot, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at NASA_never, or check out some of our pretty pictures over on Instagram at neverstraightanswer. If you like what we do here and you want to help us keep the lights on, you can become a Patreon at www.patreon.com/never-a-straight-answer. All helps. You know, keep the show going, keeps us out of trouble and off the streets. Especially me. Yeah, I need fucking something to occupy my mind. Well, that's it. We're available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your fix, you can join us there. Just subscribe, ring that notification bell, all the rest of it, and especially on YouTube, get that notification bell rang, and then you won't miss our 100th episode. Like I say, if you're interested and you want to submit some artwork to us for the show, you can send it to neverstraightanswer@gmail, or if you've got something that you do need to send, hit me up on the DM and I'll get you an address where you can send it.
If you've got questions or anything, you've got plenty of time from now till then to, you know, jot a little something down and send us. And
have a think about some questions for us. We'd be happy to try and answer them to the best of our ability in terms of how much wood is on Noah's Ark or what.
I think we answered that question. I think we got that right.
Anything you'd like to know, just give us a shout and we'll do our best. So there you go. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed the Mothman prophecy episode. It's a spooky guy. Let's hope that he doesn't fly around here because we've got enough shit on this August as it is.
So I got electric bat. I whack him with it.
An electric Batman.
No, electric bat. And you seen them? They're like
swear to me.
The flies and shit like that. It just looks like a bat with a little switch on the side, and I think it's electrified.
Torture
you
device.
Just swipe it.
I've got something like that. It's called a shoe.
Well, yeah.
You know, keeping it Stone Age. Right.
Hey,
that's it. Man. That's it for another episode. This has been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. I've been Gaz.
I've been Sailor.
He has indeed. And we'll catch you next week. Hopefully, back in the studio, but we never know. We could still be remote. We'll try our best to just keep things as kind of moving as best as possible. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Out.
Bye. Big shout out to Swoosh.
Yes,
our
Swoosh.
First Patreon ever. You're an absolute fucking Elvis-looking motherfucker. We love you to bits, mate. You're an absolute star. I'm losing my voice and I can't even talk. Hey! And a big shout out to our newest Patreon, Chantel W. I'm not going to give you second names out. But thank you so much for all your support, Chantel. Really appreciate it. And here's your shout out. Well done. Now, hollers. We've got some hollers today, and these are the hollers. These are people
I've got some birthdays as well.
Have you? We'll get to that. Well, big shout out to Harriet C for just being a star on Twitter. Harriet's making us something for our 100th episode. So
can't wait to see it.
Nice one for that. Big shout out to Gareth. Keep on trucking, fella. You're an absolute nice to see you back on Twitter, and we'll catch up soon. Another big shout out to Big Papa, Mr. Crabtree. It's been a long time, Badoosh.
Go on, chill.
Hey, we'll speak to you soon. Also, big shout out to our YouTube fucking supporter, the Duke of Marmalade. You know him. He's Brian.
Yes,
well done, mate. Thanks for listening. Big shout out to Jimmy Evans, who's retweeted, who's just basically shouted out NASA podcast every day. All he does is says, NASA, listen.
Appreciate it,
love it. Thanks very much. Big shout out to Shawnee and Chris for all the fucking support. Big shout out to Agent Coulson, who have not seen for ages.
Yeah, I've spoken ages, man. Yeah. Got him a bell.
We told him he should come on the show one day and talk about aliens and stuff. Big shout out to Louise Hammond, because I've not mentioned Louise for a while, but big shout out to you. Big shout out to Mikey.
Mikey, yeah, he would have been on the show if I was there tonight.
He would have been on the show if I wouldn't have been here. Big shout out to Arden from the Deep in History podcast, just because you're a leg.
Man.
And we had a question from a big shout out to Jez as well, because we had a question from Jez.
Yeah, man.
He asked,
I haven't seen him in a while.
is there any chance we could get Bob Lazar on the show?
I will try.
That's
all I can say. I can try, but I need more people out there to send information to him to give us a call.
Excellent. We got some podcast shout outs. These are pods we recommend you check out. So we've got the 10ish podcast, Deep in History, and we've got a lot, so I'm going to speed through these. Deep in History podcast, Not So Minnesota Nice podcast with Jess and Jen, Pod Askew podcast, Stay in Scarlet, Listen with Curtis E. Elton, the Bacon Games podcast, Be a Nostalgic.
I will, thank
you. Who said, pick me.
No,
the For Nerds by Nerds, who have a question for us, which I'll ask in a minute. The Always and Forever podcast, Fading Memories podcast, the Geekdom Fancast, and Culture Quest. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Also, so like I say, we've got some questions. So, For Nerds by Nerds ask, what horror movie do you think you could survive?
All of them.
All of them, you fucking hero.
They're basically stupid because you walk in as 4, you split up
and go upstairs.
2,
Don't go upstairs.
You split up into ones, and you expect to walk out of there. Please,
I'd
stay
say
and fuck off or defend it.
I'd probably. Did you ever see that movie, The Faculty? I'd survive that because it was just one blonde girl who turned into a monster. All you got to do is fucking get away from the school, body snatcher, and then if you're on fucking any sort of amphetamines, you're all right.
Well, if you're on them.
Yeah, well, you just make sure you are. And then, I'm not sure.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street, I suppose.
Horror movies. Oh, I don't know, because he's got you when you're vulnerable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but as you found out as the story goes along, you've got the power as well. And if you're too scared of him in your dreams, then you're obviously going to lose. So you're going to have to crunch up the courage to go, you know what? I got an axe in my hand. I got fucking Uzi in this one. Come on, boy.
I think we'd survive most of them because they'd probably end up running away from us.
Yeah.
I reckon so. Well, thanks for the question, For Nerds by Nerds. I hope we've answered that to the best of our abilities. We've got one last question from Killer Rabbit.
Yes, Killer Rabbit.
Killer Rabbit Pod. If you've not checked them out, go and check them out. They're so entertaining. Our fucking boys from Yorkshire side. And I know they're over the other side, but you can't hold that against them. They're fucking
go on, Yorkshire.
Good lads. They've had a bit of a break, but they're back in action, out of the warren, onto your fucking podcast device. They've asked us.
At least you could have a little listen.
They've asked, did Noah take termites on his boat?
Yeah, the whole boat was full of them, weren't they, by the end of it?
Well, I reckon, yeah, but they'd have to be very well behaved, because if you think about it, it's almost like that question. Nah, think about it. Your termites, yeah, right? General animals. You've got a fucking. If all right,
insect, isn't it?
Firstly, we're going to assume that the whole Noah's Ark thing is legit, right? Big assumption straight out of the boat, right? Out of the boat, right? So out of the gate,
into the water,
into the ocean. Right, so the bigger question is, did the lions eat the antelope and all the rest of it? Now, you're going to have to assume no, yeah, because these animals have been selected by God, another assumption.
Supposedly,
yeah, another big assumption, to say that they are the best of the best, deserved to be on that boat. With the conditions that they've got to fucking... Look, they're here to save your life, mate. So you've got to fucking be good. Yeah, you want on the boat, you've got to not eat anyone, yeah? Right? Therefore, if you're a termite, you've got it in your head that, I can't really eat the boat. This is the thing that's saving us, right?
What? Of course.
Well,
how many 40 days, 40 nights? Bang! Oh,
well,
right,
like
I've
I
only
said,
had a little bit of this woody.
I think Eddie Izzard had it right. He came out with, like, basically, there's a big flaw in the whole Noah's Ark fucking mythology, because anything that swam or flew got away scot-free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, fucking hell, we have to take off 2 by 2 of all these animals because there's going to be a big flood, yeah, and God's wiping the slate clean, but he wants to save a little bit of what's going on, yeah? But if you're a fish or a bird, that doesn't apply to you, yeah?
No, because there are only some birds, you can only fly for so long, and you could only land on the water, and what do you think sharks are going to eat?
Just land on the boat.
Some animals are going to
Just land on the boat, man. They land on backs of whales. They land wherever. Do you know what I mean?
Have you seen a crowd of fucking birds? The shit around the place.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But at the end of the day, I mean, not all of them are going to survive. But there's going to be more than 2 of each, isn't? That's my point.
Well, yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
like in terms they won't be able to land it all onto the sea.
No, but they could all land, like, they could take it in shifts on landing on the boat for an hour.
Oh, right, yeah, I'll go land on there, yeah. Oh, Georgie's going to come. Right, I'm going to fly off. Do me over 10 hours, and then I'll pop on and you move.
Timeshare, exactly. Yeah. Well, in answer to your question, I think all the animals would have had to sign a non-disclosure, like an agreement, or sign some.
Well, clause.
Yeah, they had to sign a Noah's Ark clause. Yeah, right. To say whether they're allowed on the boat.
We're in on this.
And stipulations involved in signing the clause would be. Don't eat the other boat. Don't eat the boat. Don't wreck the boat. Don't eat any of the other animals. Yeah, there is. Termites eat wood. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't right. The reason why there isn't an issue is because how many go on of each animal? 2. Yeah. So you put 2 in. Yeah. You've got a little bit of wood left over from fucking last week.
Oh, you let them have that? Yeah.
Put it in the corner. There you go. Put 2 of them on there. Leave them in the corner. They'll be all right for fucking years. Never mind fucking months.
Yeah. They're not going to go through a full boat, are they? Legit.
Yeah, so the boat's going to be absolutely fine. It's all the shit that the animals are going to be pouring out and all the piss. And now you're going to clean all that shit up.
Well, that's why Noah got to take his whole family with him. They've got a job on, haven't they? There you go.
True, yeah, I think he was a bit understaffed, to be honest.
Bloody hell. Right, well, moving on. I think we're so running out of time, and this has been such a long episode. If you've got all the way to the end, we do appreciate it. And if you did get all the way to the end, drop us a comment saying the word.
I got birthdays.
Oh, go
I
on.
like to say happy birthday, Stephen Salisbury.
Stephen
nice
Salisbury.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. All right, if you've got this far in the show, drop Steve in Salisbury an happy birthday message on our Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. And Mr. Roger Watson. Happy birthday, son.
Stephen Roger, happy birthday.
Yeah. I thought he said Stephen Roger. No, Stephen and Roger.
Stephen and Roger, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
happy birthday, both of you.
Happy birthday, lads. Have a good one. Hope you have a fucking wonderful time. Who else's birthday it was? It was Jessie G's birthday the other day. Big happy birthday to Jessie. Hope you had a really good day. She told me she wasn't celebrating much, but, I hope you did manage to do something special for your birthday.
At least get a drink down you or something.
Yeah. That's probably why she was a bit fucking down, maybe. I don't know. Happy birthday, girl. Cheer the fuck up, yeah? All right, wicked. All right, well, like I say, end of the show. Thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions or you want to get in touch or give us a comment about anything we've talked about on the show tonight, which has been a fucking lot, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at NASA_never, or check out some of our pretty pictures over on Instagram at neverstraightanswer. If you like what we do here and you want to help us keep the lights on, you can become a Patreon at www.patreon.com/never a straight answer. All helps. Keep the show going, keeps us out of trouble and off the streets. Especially me. Yeah, I need fucking something to occupy my mind. Well, that's it. We're available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your fix, you can join us there. Just subscribe, ring that notification bell, all the rest of it, and especially on YouTube, get that notification bell rang, and then you won't miss our 100th episode. like I say, if you're interested and you want to submit some artwork to us for the show, you can send it to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com, or if you've got something that you do need to send, hit me up on the DM and I'll get you an address where you can send it.
If you've got questions or anything, you've got plenty of time from now till then to, right, jot a little something down and send us.
Have a think about some questions for us. We'd be happy to try and answer them to the best of our ability in terms of how much wood is on Noah's Ark or what.
Yeah, I think we answered that question, though. I think we got that right.
Anything you'd like to know, just give us a shout and we'll do our best. So there you go, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the Mothman prophecy episode.
Yeah, man.
It's a spooky guy. Let's hope that he doesn't fly around here because we've got enough shit on this August as it is.
Yeah, so, I got electric bat. I whack him with it.
An electric Batman?
No, electric bat. And you seen them? They're like
swear to me,
with the flies and shit like that.
Yeah.
It just looks like a bat with a little switch on the side, and all the thing is electrified.
Torture
you
device.
Just swipe it.
I've got something like that. It's called a shoe.
Well, yeah.
Keeping it Stone Age, right?
Hey,
that's
it.
Man. That's it for another episode. This has been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. I've been Gaz.
I've been Sailor.
He has indeed. And we'll catch you next week. Hopefully, back in the studio, but we never know. We could still be remote. We'll try our best to just keep things as kind of moving as best as possible. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Out.
Bye.